Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to the channel. Last stream this side of Christmas, unless of course I can squeeze in a wee one on Christmas Eve before my night shift, but it's potentially unlikely. So this is the last stream before Christmas, at least how we've planned it, and we are off through a load of pea soup today at Gatwick, down to, I say down to, I mean up to, what a way to start. Up to Reykjavik in Iceland on the VATSIM network with the Horizon Simulations mod for the LatinVFR A321neo. We're here at Gatwick. Origami Studios is Gatwick Payware Airport scenery, and stand 555 for our flight up to Iceland, which has just had a volcano erupt overnight, causing some rather concerning behaviour or conditions around Keflavik and around Reykjavik, and villages and towns being evacuated in parts of Iceland at the moment for that. Of course, not replicated in Microsoft Flight Simulator, sadly, because I think it'd be quite interesting to see geological activity live in the sim, wouldn't it? But they don't have anything like that, unfortunately. Not yet, anyway. Welcome to Zato, Eva Lisa, Badger, hello, Kalispera, Lazaros. Dursey2, welcome, enjoying the intro video, good to hear. Rab sacked off his bike ride today because the weather is poop. God, that's a rather flat takeoff, isn't it? What? I can't go into the cloud yet, I can't see. Okay, I'll go into the cloud now. Good morning, Canadian Flight Simmer and DSL, hello to you, Ian, good afternoon, Matthew, good morning. And Living on a Player, hello to you too. And anyone else all around the world, great to have you on board with us for this EasyJet flight to Iceland. Let's dive in. We've got about 20 minutes before we're scheduled to be off blocks. And the weather is really pants at the minute. In fact, if we drop to the tablet here, we go to the home dashboard. These are the weather conditions both at Gatwick and Reykjavik, or Keflavik International Airport, I should say. Currently at Gatwick, winds are 330 at 9 knots, all the 9s apparently, in light rain, scattered cloud 900 feet, scattered at 2500 feet, temperatures 10 degrees, and the dew point 10 degrees, so 0 degree spread, probably looking at decreasing visibility, and the QNH 1018 at Keflavik at the moment. The winds are 280 at 22 knots. They were gusting 35 knots a few moments ago, so we'll be monitoring the weather there en route. Again, all the 9s, but vicinity showers, 1800 cumulonimbus for the cloud, which is few, and scattered 4200, temperatures 0 degrees, and the dew point -6. QNH is dropping further. It's going down to 1000 now. It was 1006, I think, 30 minutes ago, so that's quite a pressure drop actually, in the space of 30 minutes. Ooh, Rab, interesting. Yeah, sounds like you've got an internet problem. We unfortunately don't have any ATC here at Gatwick, as is the case whenever we connect to VATSIM UK. Usually the controllers go offline. It's one of those things, but we proceed on Unicom regardless. If you're new to the channel, hit like, hit subscribe as well, and join the live chat as well throughout our journey today. We're there, 555 as we mentioned earlier on, and we're going to go push start facing south on Quebec Alpha. We'll go left on Lima, under the bridge, right Papa, down to Alpha November. We'll go, or even Alpha Sierra actually, we'll do Alpha Sierra or Alpha November, depends on how busy it is, and then Alpha 2 round to Alpha 1, lining up 26 left. Then the Lambourne 6 Mike departure. Who are you referring to, Doc? Me or Rab? 257 degrees to 2.3 DME on the departure. Max 220 knots between 1,500 and 4,000 feet. And then turning eastbound 079 degrees track, where we begin to close down on Detling, 4,000. Acorn. And then at 10 miles Detling, we head up to 5,000, 6,000 feet to Lambourne, like so. I'm not on VATSIM. Interesting. Hold on. Might have to refresh the old connection. Disconnect. Reconnect. Well, I'm on. I am connected. Very bizarre. Ian can see me on VATScope though. I have absolutely no idea then. Sticking with the charts, as we said, so we're heading up to Lambourne's VOR and we are flying the Lambourne 6 Mike departure out of 26 left. So on the right hand side on the MCDU we're going to locate Lambourne 6 Mike, there it is, and we'll select that like so. The transition is Lambourne. So we drop down, check our routing, and then we have a little discontinuity there which we can clear. And then our routing is going to take us over the UK. So if I use VATSIM, VATSIM's map for this, I'll just hide the bit on the left there. There's our routing for today. So initially doing this little crisscross over the Thames and to the east of London. And that's because we're avoiding the busy airspace of London Heathrow on this departure. Up to Lambourne, Brookman's Park, and then we find ourselves routing past RAF Wittering, just to the east of East Midlands Airport, and to the east of Manchester Airport, to the west of Leeds Bradford, past Pole Hill VOR, and then routing up over into the Scottish section of airspace in the UK between Glasgow and Edinburgh, and then over the coast. Barrow will be on our left hand side, but we won't be able to see it sadly. And then we are oceanic for about 500 nautical miles before descending down into Keflavik there. So lots to look forward to, lots to talk about, and we will see what we get nearer to Iceland, where the conditions are going to be dark as well, just to pre-warn you guys. So Init A's done. There's our routing. Our call sign Easy 12 Bravo Victor. Ooh, Gatwick's approach online. Lovely. 126825. If the controller's watching, a massive thank you to them.
1 Hotel Yankee cleared to Velo. It's the frame 1 Mike departure.
There's our departure, 0 fuel weight, and our 0 fuel weight central gravity, and our block fuel of 10.5 matches that. Gross weight, we're pretty heavy today. Our gross weight is, let me just dig it out here.
Hotel Yankee, correct.
We'll get our clearance just a mo.
Gatwick radar, good afternoon. Osprey 77, stand 131, request diver clearance to
we are
please.
just over 79 tonnes.
Boeing 737-800.
Which is pretty heavy.
77 clear to Keflavik, it's the Lambourne 6 Mike departure.
Whack those on.
020.
Initial climb to 6,000. After this clearance we'll get ours. Stand 555. QNH 1018 and its info Alpha.
Osprey 77 correct.
Gatwick Director, good afternoon. Easy 12 Bravo Victor at 555 A321neo with Alpha QNH 1018. Request clearance to Keflavik, please.
Easy 12 Bravo Victor Gatwick, hello, cleared to Keflavik. It's Lambourne 6 Mike departure, squawk 2247.
Thank you, cleared Lambourne 6 Mike departure, squawk 2247, Easy 12 Bravo Victor.
Easy 12 Bravo Victor, correct.
2247. So that's in the box. Lambourne 6 Mike is what we planned for, so that's in the MCDU as well. That's all done. We've done our wind as well with this because it uses the fly-by-wire stuff, so we can pull in all of this. It's really good. And a performance page we need to do. So I've used VAS Airplane Toolbox to help us with a bit of calculation here, and it's telling us config 1 plus F is fine. We'll go trimmable horizontal stabilizer down 0.3. It's got a habit, this aircraft, of wanting to pitch nose up, the Neos. 61 for flex, and 1200 for 1,000 foot above ground level. Thrust reduction. Allows us then, with our departure in and our flaps set up, we can add in our V-speeds like so.
Easy 17 uniform.
Cost index a little higher than the EasyJet normal of 12. We're using 15. And there's our cruise today. So, we're going to fire up GSX, prepare for pushback and departure, and we're going to fire up the APU.
Cleared to Keflavik, it's a Lamborn 6 Mike departure, squawk 2724.
We wait for 3 seconds. Make sure there's no faults, and then we start the APU up. And then we get the display there.
Easy 8804, readback is correct.
Yeah, that's the one, Blubber. But yeah, we can't see it, unfortunately. Aiden, hello. Engineer, welcome. I am on Volanta, yes. What I'll do is I'll refresh Volanta, perhaps.
Easy
As well.
Hotel Zulu, reaching Bravo 1, ready for departure.
Easy 52 Hotel Zulu, thanks. The wind's 330 degrees at 9 knots from Bravo 1, you clear takeoff runway 26 left.
Bypass pin inserted.
Clear for takeoff to 6 left, Easy 52 Hotel Zulu.
Oh, interesting, Doc. That might mean I won't have enough fuel for today.
Station call, I think that was Easy 96 November Lima, you're pretty quiet.
So I'll leave it set to 15.
Is that better now?
That's much better. Push details.
Constraints are active, APU is available, let's pop it on please. Beacon light can go on. Lights and signs.
Easy 96
Dome light
Lima,
off.
clear to Munich on the Minfo 1 Mike departure, squawk 7536.
External power off. Rest of the overhead looks good and set. Looks like we've got a bit of sun bursting through, which is quite nice. GCS, predictable wind shear, multi-scans, automatic, transponder set. That's all done. Throttles are back. Okay, ready for push. We'll pause the music. We've got the Luke Air tool giving us freeware safety demonstrations for this as well. Let's go. Gatwick Director Easy 12 Bravo Victor, stand 555, fully ready, request push start.
Easy 12 Bravo Victor, 555, push and start approved.
Thank you, push start approved, Easy 12 Bravo Victor. Bar break off.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
AVA, hope you're well.
Stand 131, ready for push and start please.
Ignition mode start.
7 stand 131, push and start approved, face east. Facing east, Osprey.
Custom GSX profile with the custom pushback here as well. Yeah, look at that. A little bit of cloud break that's just come up.
8804, push and start approved.
Push and start approved, 8804.
And I believe it's doing this so that we get a bit of a neater pushback on the line at Quebec Alpha. There we go. The turn has commenced.
Easy 52 Hotel Zulu, report your passing altitude.
Mountain 1100 feet, Easy 52 Hotel Zulu.
Easy 52 Hotel Zulu, thank you. Climb now flight level 150.
Climb flight level 150, Easy 52 Hotel Zulu.
There's Gatwick Tower. We can wave at the Gatwick Director over there. Crikey, Doc. Lufthansa's just ordered 40 Boeing MAX 8s. That's an interesting choice. Which airline in the group is that going to be for? Turkish have just ordered, I think, something like 200 Airbus A350 aircraft as well, which is insane.
63 Mike Papa. 63 Mike Papa, correct.
Please set parking brakes.
Cockpit
Set.
ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
Easy 17 uniform Foxtrot, stand 18, push and start approved, face east.
Pushing east, Easy 17
Aiden, we're using the Origami Studios London Gatwick. 787-9 there, wonderful. Look at those clouds, my goodness. I think we'll be thinking about icing today. Oh, look at the tug. Do you guys see that? Windscreen wipers on the tug. She's going to go and remove the ground pin.
Tow truck disconnected.
Or we go to flaps
Eyeball
1 plus
below.
F. The heck?
Left is clear, right is clear.
That's interesting. Basically just ran her over. That's really weird. Why is that keybind not working properly today? Ignition mode norm. That's all good. APU off. Nose light to taxi, and we could do some control surface checks. So looking at the center screen here, making sure they're all deflecting correctly.
Easy 52 Hotel Zulu, Monolith Unicom 122.8, have a good flight.
Unicom 122.8, easy 52 Hotel Zulu.
Ah,
Thank you,
good
bye-bye.
707 liner. I hope that then means that other airlines like Qatar and everyone else can do flights into Australia too. Fight Qantas's monopoly in the area, I think. Right, let's get our taxi clearance. So remember what we spoke about earlier, it should be Quebec Alpha Lima Papa Alpha Sierra or Alpha November. Easy 12 Bravo Victor, request taxi.
Easy 12 Bravo Victor, taxi at Lima Papa, hold short Kilo.
Taxi Lima Papa, hold short Kilo 12 Bravo Victor. Right, so just going to quickly check something here,
And easy 8804 is ready for taxi.
because something doesn't make sense.
Easy 8804, taxi Lima Kilo, hold short Papa.
Lima, Kilo, hold short Papa, easy 8804.
And Osprey 77
Nope.
request.
Oh well, we'll just pop that up like so. Safety demo time.
We now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket, showing the exit route, oxygen mask.
And Osprey 77, taxi to holding point Bravo 1 via Papa.
Brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, or in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit.
Sorry, I may have tripped over someone there. Osprey 77 request taxi.
In an emergency,
Osprey 77, taxi to hold Bravo 1 via Papa.
your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted,
Bravo 1,
and
Papa Osprey 77.
It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply
Using the
fails,
good old ground charts here from Navigraph to sort us out on the ground.
Put the mask over your nose and mouth.
Electricity, very nice. Get out of the way, ground vehicles.
Put on your own
Can't work out why my keybinds aren't working in this
Easy
today.
17 uniform, taxi to holding point Mike 1, short of 26 left.
under your seat. Put it over your head. Click together and pull the strap to adjust.
Gatwick approach, good afternoon, Osprey 495 Heavy, stand 19,
When
request
outside,
booster.
inflate by pulling the pocket.
Osprey 495, just check squawk for me please, 7277.
There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry
Pacific Squawk 7277, Osprey 495.
Taxi on idle.
Osprey 495, thank you. Push and starts approved, face west.
And we've been told hold short Kilo, so this EasyJet here is likely going to have right of way over us. So there's the Osprey coming out.
Easy 8804, continue taxi to holding point Bravo 1 for 26 left via November.
Holding point Bravo 1, easy 8804.
We'll pause there.
Easy 17 uniform Foxtrot from Mike 1, you clear takeoff 26 left, the surface winds 330 degrees at 9.
Right. Let's try my PMDG profile here. Too many ruddy profiles. Where's the
Easy
737?
12 Bravo Victor, continue taxi via Papa to hold Bravo 1.
Continue taxi Papa hold Bravo 1, easy 12 Bravo Victor. No, that doesn't work either. So now I'm going to have to make sure I change it back. Look at that weather. That cluster of cloud there. That's insane. That's quite ominous, isn't it? One EasyJet rolling. Around about now, we'd get our cabin secure. Takeoff memos, no blue. Whoa, look at that spray.
Osprey 77 at Bravo 1, line up 26 left.
Line up 26 left, Osprey.
Oh, we're using Bravo 1. Oof. You know what? Let me just quickly change my takeoff run. Okay. Still the same.
Easy.
London Control, good afternoon. This is Speedbird 939, which requested diversion to Gatwick. Takeoff arrival inbound ALDAN.
Speedbird 939, Gatwick Director. Hello, expect vectors, the RLS runway 26 left. There's no delay. Report your aircraft type. Information Alpha is current.
Aircraft type is LS A320, and I expect vectors for ILS 26 left, Speedbird 939.
And Speedbird 939, just confirm your passing level for me, please.
I'm now reaching flight level 140.
Speedbird 939, thank you. Descend flight level 80.
Can't see anyone on final.
Descend flight level 80.
There's the Special Edition Osprey Commonwealth livery.
Easy 17 uniform, Foxtrot, report your passing altitude.
And I've used the VAS Airplane Toolbox to just quickly respin the numbers here for us.
Easy 17 uniform, Foxtrot, climb now, flight level 180, report your passing altitude.
We'll pop that on. I'm just going to go back into that Phoenix profile because I know the rest of the keybinds work for that. And to be fair, that might just give it a bit of a kick up the backside.
Osprey 77, the surface winds 330 degrees and 9 knots. Runway 26 left, you clear for takeoff.
Oh, we'll hold it on the brakes.
Takeoff 26 left, Osprey.
I haven't downloaded it, Doc, yet.
Easy 8804 behind the departing 737 via Bravo 1, line up 26 left.
So initial step climb, initial climb is to 4,000 feet. We've got speed restrictions as well through the SID as we spoke about earlier on.
Director Z5, Papa Quebec, Sound 106, Hello A320, request clear to Munich, and information Alpha.
And off he goes.
EG5, Papa Kilo, Gatwick, Director, hello, you cleared to Munich on the Minfo 1 Mike, departure, squawk 3377.
Brakes off.
Roger, Z5, Papa Quebec, clear to Munich.
So,
Minfo
the Boeings will look at that crosswind and they'll be putting the stick into wind, so there'll be ailerons deflected right throughout that takeoff roll. However, we're in an Airbus with fly-by-wire, and it does it for us.
Osprey 495, taxi to holding point, Alpha 1 for runway 26.
So all we've got to do on the stick is pull back. None of this kind of keeping aileron in. Right, at the hold then. Takeoff memos no blue, all the flying controls, just a quick check of these again, they're full and free. Gently on the brakes.
And
we'll be using this longer little bit here.
275.
Right turn, heading 275, Speedbird 939.
Up brake.
Gatwick, approach easy 17 from Foxtrot, sorry.
Yeah, you disappeared for a second there. Climb now, flight level 180, and further be in your complete 122.8.
Climb to level...
I think Qantas has got a bit of a warm thing with with the UK as well. I think people have got this. I think maybe because it's such an interesting airline. It's for the opposite side of the world. Same with Air New Zealand when it flew into and out of London Heathrow. It was nice to see, and there was something exotic about it.
Climb now, flight level 130,
Whereas,
and report your passing altitude.
obviously, the actual reality of flying with the airline, it seems to be quite different for most. These ghost flights and things like that they do in Australia, and
Osprey 77 AFAM.
pretty terrible.
130 Osprey 77.
I mean, it'd be great to see British Airways perhaps one day do. They do the Singapore-Sydney, but to do Singapore-Perth maybe, that could be quite cool.
Yankee push and start from 563 is approved.
Push start 560 approved, subject 1 Hotel Yankee.
Easy 8804, the wind's 330 degrees at 9 knots. Well, runway 26 left, you clear for takeoff.
So, if there's not one on final now, we should expect...
Easy 12 Bravo Victor behind the departing company aircraft. Bravo 1 line up 26 left behind.
Behind the departing company traffic, line up Bravo 126 left behind. Easy 12 Bravo Victor. Lights, signs, crew advised. We'll pop the wing lights on through the cloud as well, so we can think about icing conditions and all of that. Transponders set, that's all good. Rudder trim is set to neutral. And we've advised Le Crew.
Easy 5 Papa Quebec, request startup.
Easy 5 Papa Quebec, sorry, was that for start?
Look at that. The departure there with all the spray. Mega.
Quebec, thank you. Push and start from 106. Just hold position, there's traffic just pushing off the left hand side. Once that taxi's clear, just call me back.
Roger, Easy 5 Papa Quebec.
Want to get as much of this runway as we can get, and we got to make sure that nose wheel gets centered. He's airborne now. We can expect about 2 minutes.
77 route direct Lambourne.
Andrew, good morning. It does, doesn't it? Means we're very much at home with this. It's almost t-shirt weather.
Speedbird 939, turn left heading to 70.
Afternoon, Ashton.
And descend to altitude.
My Alfie, thanks for subscribing to the channel as well. Great to have you on board with us today.
About 30 miles.
And EasyJet, Stephen's saying earlier on in the live chat, EasyJet have just confirmed an order of 157 A320neos. Madness.
And QNH is 1018 as in the 80s.
Hello, Mikhail. Welcome, buddy. Hope you're well.
1018 is correct.
And easyJet 8804 airborne 2100.
Easy 8804, roger, climb now, flight level 130.
So I'm just going to hold on the brakes.
130, easy 8804.
Osprey 77, further climb will be with Unicom, please. 122.
Oh yeah, A330.
Unicom, thanks for the
Beautiful.
Osprey 77.
Ashley, hello. Welcome, mate.
Gatwick approach, KLM 1011 with you at 1000.
KLM 1011, Gatwick Director, hello, expect vectors for the ILS, runway 26 left, there's no delay. Information is Alpha, report your aircraft type.
That's madness, 707 liner. Qatar on that game as well. Flying Adelaide to Melbourne with no passengers virtually, so they can just get additional rights into Sydney and Melbourne. Madness.
KLM 1011, roger. Descend flights level 80 and leave Holly heading 050 degrees.
I don't know, Mike, because it's a lot more debt and capital, so it tends to wobble the share price a little bit. But they have no choice; they have to keep the fleet young.
1011 negative. That's leave Holly heading 050.
Oh, Ian, no problem at all, mate. It's nice to not be in front. You guys can do the weather reports.
Easy 12 Bravo Victor. The wind's 330 degrees at 9 knots. Runway 26 left, clear for takeoff.
26 left, clear for takeoff. Easy 12 Bravo Victor.
Osprey 495, flight Alpha 1, line up 26 left.
Behind departing, line up 26 left behind Osprey connect.
Easy 96 November Lima, taxi 2 hold, Papa 1, sorry, Bravo
Flex.
1.
I thought I heard it click, but it didn't go on the annunciator. Anyway, we're set. Keep that stick forwards a bit for the nose wheel. Look at that cloud, my goodness. Quite a lot of left rudder here.
Push and starts approved to face east.
Quite a lot of left rudder.
Left to right,
We're going to use all of the runway almost today.
Speed at 939 on that heading when established.
V1,
runway
rotate.
26 left, December
V2. Hey.
Heading until the
Gently rotating into the climb, following the flight director.
Speedbird 939.
Positive rate, gear up.
Easy 8804, route direct Lamborn.
Direct Lamborn.
Away we go. What we can also do, autopilot 1 engaged through 1,000 feet.
Yankee taxi to
First lever climb.
Via Lima and Papa the hold short kilo, and I'll give you further shortly.
Set. We'll accelerate away.
Easy 5 Papa Quebec, just check squawk please 3373.
And we're swapping CDC 76 front.
That's correct, please. Brake easy 12 Bravo Victor, report your passing altitude.
2,000 passing, easy 12 Bravo Victor.
Easy 12 Bravo Victor, thank you. Climb now, flight level 130.
Climb now, flight level 130, easy 12 Bravo Victor. So we go out of managed mode now, we ignore the speed constraints in the SID, because ATC has cleared us beyond that, and as we pass the S speed, flaps up, slats up, ground spoilers disarmed.
Osprey 495, the wind's 330 degrees.
Wing
runway 26 left, clear to take off.
lights, I'll pop the lows lights and taxi lights off as well. I'll put a bit of wing anti-ice on.
Easy 8804, further climb will be with Uniform Police 122.8.
Over to Unicom, thanks for ABEVI, have a great day.
Absolutely, Rab, yeah, fantastic controller. The strobe's bouncing off the wing just over there, looks fantastic. Hey, 5 months Evalacer, thanks buddy for all the support, appreciate it. And there's London Gatwick, just coming into view. Underneath that weather cell.
011, further left turn please,
Look at that.
040 degrees, reduce speed to 30 knots.
040, speed to 340 knots, KLM 101.
KLM 1011, the speed 230 knots.
230 knots, KLM 101.
KLM 1011, I'm going to give you 30 miles from touchdown, descend to
Just keeping an eye on the speed there.
5,000 feet for QNH 1018.
Right on the cusp. There's that minimum clean, over 240. But we need to clean the flaps because we couldn't fly any quicker with the flaps and the slats extended.
Easy 12 Bravo Victor, a route direct to Lamborn.
Direct Lamborn, easy 12 Bravo Victor. There it is, so direct.
Easy 906 November Lima, via Bravo 1, line up 26 left.
Direct.
Right, Bravo.
Left turn, following the line.
Osprey 495, climb now.
Hey, 27 months, Mikhail. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate all the support. 27 months. Ian, I think, was 30-something months yesterday, wasn't it? 35 months. Wow.
Thank you.
Mega. Appreciate all the support, folks. And Merry Christmas to you too.
November Lima, from Bravo 1, you clear takeoff 26 left, the wind's 300 degrees at 9 knots.
There's a little rainbow for us. The sim's fantastic, isn't it? It just looks brilliant. Okay, landing lights off and retracted. We'll pop the wing lights off as well for now. We'll climb through that.
12 Bravo Victor, continue with Unicom please, 122 decimal 8.
1228 PZ 12 Bravo Victor, thanks to the ATC, Merry Christmas. Okay, accelerating away then, and we'll continue climb. I'll go for 340 initially. Our cruise will be 360 though. Thirsty2, been with us for almost 2 years. Your colour will go gold shortly on your little channel badge in the live chat. Very exciting. Where are we at? Let's see. So floodlight, we can pop that off. A little bit more cloud. We'll punch through that quite quickly, to be fair.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings without losing your range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details about award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an EasyJet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any product, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us to join you in the cabin shop.
Fantastic. So we have London City underneath us. London Heathrow is all the way down there through that cumulus. And London City Airport is... Can't really see it from here. It's pretty much underneath us. So that's all looking good. Let's dive outside and see if we can see it below. Probably not with this weather. Need somebody to hum the EastEnders theme tune for us. I got a direct to Rab, yes. Direct Lambourne. Ashley, wow, nice. Just a few months. Thanks for all the support. Clink clink, 31 months, mega. Can't see it, it's somewhere here. It's very difficult to work out where you are amongst the tiny little pockets of London underneath. And half of that's Newham, which is an absolute mess. I don't think there's anything good about Newham. There's the river. A little glimpse of part of the river, I think. No. Oh well. It's London City, it's not going anywhere. DSL Senna, nice one, thanks buddy. Been with us for 28 months. Appreciate it. And there we are. If you don't know what this is, it's the LatinVFR Airbus A321neo with the Horizon Simulations A321neo LatinVFR mod, which is really good. It makes it very enjoyable and frankly usable as well, which is quite important. Little stutters going on here at the moment. Information Alpha, hello buddy. I'm going to do is get rid of Q80L for now, close it. Look at that, streaking. Oh, actually, double. Look at that. X marks the spot. That's that aircraft going up that way. We've got another one going north, chasing us as well. We're on the follow. But when they introduced contrails, it was this little thing that they made, this little tweak that they made to make it that little bit better. But my goodness, certainly on a network like VATSIM, having these contrails zipping around the sky makes all the difference, doesn't it? Alrighty. Wings are almost level. Let's pop the seatbelt signs off.
Traffic, seatbelt 0 to Yankee, runway 27.
A380 pics look really good, don't they?
Lining up.
Let me see if I can dig some of these out actually, and we can chat about all of it during the cruise today. So we've got NOTAMs.
Hebrew traffic, seabird 0 to Yankee, taking off now on the 67.
So a little let's see if we can do this like this. Bosh. So little teaser of what's to come in the next week or so from Builds. By the looks of it, certainly gearing up for a release of their A300 600, very much anticipated, highly anticipated aircraft. A little bit of a text bit here saying thanks to the support to Builds. Going to be an very interesting few weeks with some fantastic deals in their Winter Wonderland period, because they've got these deals running between the 18th and the 5th. So almost 3 weeks worth of deals of various things, and a couple of updates being pushed through to various sceneries. And they've got some announcements for 2024 during this week until the 23rd. So a number of pings in their Discord server, and they've said mute it if you don't want them, because it's going to be a few, I think. And testing in full swing of their A300-600 airliner, still on track to release before the end of the year. And please note, this will be towards the end of the year, wink. So maybe the last couple of days prior to seeing in the new year. And I'm sure this is going to be very popular on VATSIM as well. I'm really looking forward to Monarch Airlines hops. So we're planning one of those routes at the moment into, I think, Corfu, wasn't it, we settled on? Those of you in our members lounge the other day, I think we did settle on Corfu, didn't we? So we'll be flying Monarch from London Gatwick or Manchester to Corfu. I forget which one. I think it was Gatwick to Corfu, and that way we have to do that really tricky VOR based approach in a big twin aisle A300. So that's going to push us to the max, and it's also going to allow us to really test the aircraft and see what is capable. What it's capable of. Yeah, we haven't done Rovaniemi this year, have we, Doc? As you suggested the other day as well, but every time we fly into Rovaniemi, it's either full of snow or very dark, so we're not really seeing very much there. And it's not too much of a challenge in comparison to flying these sorts of routes. But we thought of a few different options. There has been a few popping about, but yeah, we'll soon get it painted in both the Osprey World Cargo livery for cargo ops and the Osprey Airways normal livery as well, the mainline livery too. So, big old development update coming soon before the release, explaining all of the A300-600 airliner stuff and all their other aircraft plans, wink, and X-Plane 12. So, interesting news ahead from them, and their little sleigh run thing and their little deals have started there. Now, if we turn our attention to media, is it media? No, that's progress. Not in that bit. They shared the Flubberwire Sim folks shared some bits, didn't they? With the A380, but I can't remember where.
Downstairs traffic, Blue Max 75 Alpha, taking off 04.
No, it doesn't seem to have anything in there, does it? Where was it? Let's see. Ignore the clickbait videos. Is it in screenshots? Let's have a look. I don't think there were. It wasn't screenshots. What we might have to do is look at one of those media website things like Threshold. Oh look, Janet. Aha! Here we are. Good shout, Lazaros. There she is in all her glory. Little A380 shot. And the complex MCDU, the digital screens, much like the A350 as well. So really good work going into that by the looks of it. Track and distance and all the complicated calculations and stuff that goes on behind this screen as well, seemingly working very good. And that just looks mega. They've got the styling right on point. They've got the level of dirt right on point as well. Certainly when I see the British Airways aircraft under the belly of the A380, that dirt there looks perfectly located. What else have we got? Another screenshot there. The beautiful engines. Look at that wing flex. Very nice indeed. So yeah, no idea when it's going to release. It might be some way off yet, unfortunately. Absolute beast of a plane. My favourite in the skies to have flown one on in full stop. 133705. London North. Who's looking forward to the A380 from fly-by-wire then in the live chat? I know lots of people are across the community. I am, but still a long way off yet, I think. Could be, as Andy says, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
London Control, Ryanair 18 Mike Sierra with you at level 290 inbound Balfour.
Ryanair 18 Mike Sierra, London, Roger. Mallard 1 Mike arrival for Manchester.
Mallard 1 Mike arrival for Manchester, Ryanair 18 Mike Sierra.
Lima 3 Foxtrot Lima, climb flight level 270.
Flight level 270, Lima 3 Foxtrot Lima, thank you.
Ryanair 40 Sierra Charlie, descend flight
Ashton,
level
for me, it's going to be the training sorties that I did when I worked at British Airways. I was one of the first crews on the A380 when it was delivered, and we flew Lear XLEA from Heathrow to Frankfurt and back, and to get used to the cabin layout and all that sort of stuff. So we just smashed a few of those throughout the day to practice for that. And then we went off to Los Angeles as well.
804 at flight level 345 for 380.
Multiple stations at once, CZ8804 London, Roger.
The next thing we're going to chat about, as Information Alpha has just alluded to, is an update from Robert Randazzo, and this is one I'm super excited for. So, from him the 17th, so 2 days ago, PMDG released a little pre-Christmas weekend update. As well, they like to do these weekend updates, don't they? Giving us some information about their ongoing development periods. Little updates to the Universal Flight Tablet, and note there that they've added performance computational menu data for the 777 there. And people have said, well, why? And that's because they need it in there for things like testing. So that does make sense. Right, let me just chat to the controller.
Channel X57 Delta Yankees ready for push and start, stand 1-4.
Thanks, 57 Delta Yankee, stand 1-4, push and start approved, face east.
Push start approved, face east, Channel X57 Delta Yankee.
London Control, good afternoon, Easy 12 Bravo Victor, inbound Pippin, flight level 340.
Easy 12 Bravo Victor, London, Roger, climb flight level 360.
Climb flight level 360, hello, Easy 12 Bravo Victor. Set. Where were we? This will be the last product update published for 2023 for the tablet and the 737, full stop. So that's a sentence worthy of a bit of attention there, because it means that there aren't going to be any other updates beyond the final few weeks of the year. They've still got issues with Microsoft pulling their finger out the backside to get their marketplace updates run as well, which is frustrating for people who buy stuff on the marketplace, but that's why folks like myself say never to buy anything from the marketplace unless you really have to. And then a bit there about continuing issues with the Xbox side of the platform and the marketplace. They're still trying to find a way to disable the broken tablet functionality when running on Xbox. And they're going to update us accordingly when they get any progress with that. Now, moving on to the flight line. The flight line is active, and as you can see there, Drzeki's Payne Field this afternoon might have noticed they had the entire testing team gathered over the north ramp, parking 107, according to Robert Randazzo there. Says we gathered in the forward cabin of the 777 and had one last briefing before we turned them and our newest product line loose for flight testing in preparation for her release to us. This marks the beginning of beta testing and flight testing for the PMDG 777 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So currently we're We're not going to see any posts or previews yet, but soon enough they're going to turn them loose to allow us to share our impressions of the product with you guys all at large as well. So hoping to preview the 777 nearer the time. Very excited for that. That's the one that I'm really paying attention to and most excited for. And they're saying there that a few little bits here. It's going to take a few weeks. Now PMDG will test everything thoroughly. They will be very thorough, very methodical in relation to their beta testing period. So they're not going to rush a product release. They want to make sure that it is ready for us to enjoy. Certainly prior to previews and stuff as well from content creators or even the general release, they want to make sure it's at a standard that they are happy with, knowing that we're going to enjoy the experience when the time comes. So that 777 coming in the new year by the sounds of it, hopefully early January or into February, but very, very exciting first few months of the year it looks to be. Robert Randazzo there saying he cannot help but reflect upon the fact that 777 is benefiting from 3 factors that are ultimately improving the product quality in measurable ways. Firstly, it being a third MSFS product line, and because of that, they've had a few years now to get used to developing for the sim. They've worked out their own capabilities, they understand how to leverage the best that the platform MSFS can provide. Secondly, they've actually expanded the size of the PMDG team quite a bit, and because of that they've got a deeper set of skills with which to solve inevitable challenges that they present within the development of MSFS. The third benefit is they've had the opportunity to invest in a host of new tools and capabilities as they transition from the 737 to the 777, and those new tools are really showing value in their 777 development cycle, Robert says there. As you can see, they've shared the forward cabin section.
122.8 vision to Bravo, Mike.
Sounded like my call sign then for a minute. It almost threw me.
Good afternoon, EasyJet.
As you can see on the screen there for that PMDG forum post, Robert Randazzo has actually now shared that first ever forward cabin image of the PMDG 777. He also says at the very top of your screen there that they've got a number of things pending for us, and 747 development work is spooling up rapidly, which is quite exciting. But look at that, very exciting. And what I really like is, I can't really see it here, let me see if I can. It's a bit of a, the way they've done it's a little skewed, but look at that, you just about see a little tease of the fan blades there on those big old General Electric GE90s.
Unfortunately I'm going to have to disconnect. I'll catch you again.
But
the cabin itself, and the textures, the panelling work, everything looks very, very good indeed.
You send 13018 Mike 0.
Channel 6 Papa Mike, descend flight level 100.
We'll just go back there. That's it for the update. And yes, they are still making a 737 MAX Jan. Apparently somebody got very excited because they saw somebody on the beta testing team flying it around Payne Field the other day. So who knows, we'll have to strap in and see what we get.
Channel 57 Delta Yankees ready for taxi.
Somebody moaning saying they're disappointed because they see a picture of the cabin, so somebody made a picture of the plane.
We do require backtrack and we'll taxi 32 by Delta and hold Delta 1 Channel 57 Delta Yankee.
1990 uniform, Scottish offline 122, that's Malay, bye bye. Right now 90 uniform 122, that's Malay, bye bye.
122.8, thank you very much. Ryanair 900.
I do like going through the forums sometimes.
Channel 6 Papa Mike, descend flight level 80.
It's full of crazy people demanding all sorts of things. And we've also, well, I mean, we haven't heard for a little while, have we? We haven't heard about the Fenix A321 progress for a little while. This Block 2 version 2 that they said that they were going to bring out in November. That's kind of gone a bit radio silent, hasn't it? Unless you guys know of any updates in the chat in relation to that. Andy's saying that he must admit short haul is his thing. He loves the big wide bodies, but just doesn't have the time to sit around for 11 hours, especially if he's flying for a VA. Yeah, that's a fair point indeed. The 777 though, you can use it on short haul routes, Frankfurt, Manchester, all that sort of stuff. And some medium haul routes as well, depending on what part of the world you're flying around in. And I suppose it depends which VA you're flying for as well. Bluebird 757 has gone quiet too, Information Alpha says. I think they're at a phase now where they're just trying to build a lot of systems, so there's not really much to share with that.
Osprey 77, Scottish offline 122-Malay, bye-bye.
Over to Unicom, Osprey 77, thanks.
Bluebird 221, Scottish offline 122-Malay.
I hope they're the GE90s, Information Alpha. I'm all about the GE90s.
122-Malay to Unicom.
4 Rovaniemi flights is quite a lot, Doc, for only 3 years of the channel. That means...
Telex 57 Delta Yankees holding Delta 1 ready for departure.
Plus, Corfu's got Borat in it, thanks to the fly tamper scenery.
Roger, we'll back check and line up 32, and we'll report right when ready.
Fans says hello, he loves the 739, flew JFK to PBI, did it at night, so it was bad. Whoops. While the time back, enjoy the scenery. Jan was asking earlier as well, not very relevant, but he missed, in his words, not mine, but he missed my conclusion on the Embraer 195, so is it worth buying right now, or is it worth waiting for more updates? I would say, Jan, wait for it to be a bit more further down the line with its progression of LNAV and VNAV. I think it's quite important. Ashley says Phoenix have gone radio silent regards the release of version 2 block 2 because they've realised it's daft to mention release dates when they aren't set in stone due to debugging. Yeah, I mean there's been a few sim updates since as well, the big updates in the sim, so perhaps that's brought its own couple of problems out with it and they've kind of had to push it back a bit, so hopefully January at some point we get to see the Phoenix A321 in the sim.
Flyhead in 360, Scandinavian.
David says he's got the Phoenix installed now, he'd say it's due an update.
Stand 8 requesting start and push.
I'm not a fan of long haul flights in the sim either myself, to be honest, as Aviate's saying as well.
Channex 57 Delta Yankee is ready for departure.
Jan's saying that he feels like PMDG is a lot more transparent with their customers and Phoenix is very quiet. I think they've got a different way of communicating with the customers. Neither is incorrect. PMDG is sharing a different type of information. Phoenix, I think they've made the mistake of mentioning time frames for their block updates of block 2, or version 2, block 1, block 2, block 3, and I think because of that they were always destined to miss them. I think if they just said, look, this is the plan, we've got version 2 block 1 releasing next week, we're then going to work on block 2, which might take a number of months, and then they just kind of wait, and we wait as well patiently because of it, and every now and again they just share a bit of progress, like PMDG do every now and again as well. Zippy, wow. Phoenix have stopped giving timelines after receiving threatening messages in staff members' PMs. That's insane. If that actually happened, that is despicable. Imagine being so impatient for an add-on for a game that you threaten the developers. Insane.
Shamrock 238 is with you on climb flight level.
That would be cool information after if Phoenix made an A340. I would love their depth of simulation in a quad jet. Caleb, welcome aboard. Thanks for subscribing, mate. Merry Christmas to you if you're celebrating. And he says cruise relief VAs is not a euphemism for something else, mind. We don't do cruise relief on Osprey. You can just connect, you can get the cruise, and you can just sit and enjoy it if you want.
Seabird 4498, 122.8, bye-bye.
Seabird 4498, 122.8.
My overlay is not updating, Carl says.
Yankee, can we amend that flight level 390?
River 0 Yankee, Roger, climb flight level 390.
Roger, 390, Yankee.
Let me stop and start the overlay in Volanta. And I'll make it go bye-bye, and then I'll turn it back on again.
276401.
Let's see if that's updated.
Resume navigation direct.
Caleb, very nice. Whereabouts do you control typically? Yeah, that's the other thing as well, 32, to be honest. I would, I'll just sack them off entirely.
Descend 80, running 18 Mike Sierra.
Right now, 18 Mike Sierra, Manchester radar 118.580, bye bye.
118.
Look at that crosswind, 83 knots.
Shamrock 238, 5003.
128 is our next frequency, so we've got that ready.
Shamrock 238.
I like the idea of doing in the 777 those fifth freedom routes, like the BA hop from like St Lucia to Granada, those real short 30-minute hops. I might do one or two long hauls, or Heathrow, Dubai, something like that. Oh look, can you guys see that? Hopefully you just see the nav lights and the strobes flashing where my cursor is, just to the right hand side of the engine. You should be able to see my cursor, but for some reason it doesn't always display on the screens. There's a little plane down there.
Okay, so see some hold position due traffic.
What position does it to someone?
Shamrock 238, climb flight level 330.
Climb 330.
There is no next frequency, Caleb. No idea what the price will be for the 777neo, to be honest, mate. I would expect it to be somewhere around the £80 mark. I'm not sure. It's very difficult to predict because 737 packs for PMDG for MSFS were really well priced. Around 50 to 60 quid, weren't they? So maybe they're going to blow everyone's mind and price the 777 around a similar point. I'm not sure.
Climb 410, Sunset 1 Hotel Yankee.
Easy 12 Bravo Victor, Scottish offline 122.8, bye bye.
Unicom 1228 for Easy 12 Bravo Victor. Thanks for the HC, happy Christmas. CM Films, no, nothing like that yet, mate. $70 to $80 Badger reckons for the 777. It would certainly be a reasonable price, wouldn't it? And I think we know now that they won't be pricing it or structuring the pricing around the same as their P3D products, because their track record now of MSFS slightly lower in price than the P3D versions. The community, of course, being massively bigger, allowing them to reduce their pricing somewhat as well accordingly. So I think we're looking forward to that kind of price bracket badge. I think that'd be quite cool. Am I free on the 10th of February 2024, Doc's saying, for that across the land westbound? Not sure if I've got a picture of my roster yet for February. Let me have a little look. Oh, hold on. Oh, I'm on night shift, so I won't be able to do the 10th of Feb. Unless I try and take those nights off as annual leave. Depends how much annual leave I have left. But remind me when I go to work on Thursday. I'll be able to look at it then. So just make sure I don't forget somebody. And I'll try and see if I can get annual leave for those. We do cross the land in the 777 perhaps. That'd be quite cool, won't it? I work at Heathrow Uni, yes, in a job undisclosed that I can't talk about. Yeah, see, that's tasty, isn't it, Zato? Because I want both. I want the 200ER, the 200, I want the 300ER and the 300, and freighters. I want all of them. Give me all of them. The thing is, we know that they will have put immense detail into the 777, so the sounds, the system integrations, and the simulate, everything will be very, very nicely made and well simulated, and it'll be reliable, it'll be enjoyable, and if the experience that I've had of the 737 is anything to go by, which at the time, you know, it was my first PMDG airliner ever, not counting the DC-6 of course, which is great fun, but the 737s, that they continue to impress me. They are still my favourite aircraft in the sim at the moment, and I just love flying them in the sim. I think it's just very well made, very well created for the experience you get back off them. As Matthew's saying there, he's been really enjoying the 737s from PMDG as well. They're just very well done, he says, and I bet the 777s are going to be epic. I'd agree. Zato says this 777 in P3D is fantastic, and therefore we're going to enjoy it even more in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Trust Zato, he says. Ian remembers the day when he had to go to PC World and buy a big box with a disc in it for Flight Sim add-ons. Those are the days. I've still got my old disc Microsoft Flight Simulator 2000 here, which I'm tempted to sell, but I think nobody will buy it. Nah, poof, Fly UK. They got rid of me. Who are they? They got nothing on Osprey. Osprey Airways. We'll have all the variants in all the paint schemes. On all of the routes. There's two still got his FSX sticks as well, nice. That's the one, AV8. Yes, with Concorde on the front cover, that's the one I've got. I've still got that outer cover as well for it. Crikey. I hope that's not that accurate. In short, I didn't fly enough, Andy. I think that's the official reason. But they became a little unhappy with Osprey Airways, sadly. I tried to balance both as best as I could, but Osprey Airways became quite big quite quickly. So, yeah. Plus, we have some sexy ass liveries. Ian remembers losing his mind when he opened Flight Sim 95 for Christmas all those years ago. Yeah, I remember opening, was it FS 98 or something? And FS 2000 as well. When I got those delivered as presents, they blew my mind. Got very excited by them. And now I just break things. So the other day I took my pin lock off my motorcycle helmet to try and clean it with the approved cloths that I had to buy from Pinlock as well. So not cheap, but they're the only things that they say won't scratch the special silicone Pinlock visor thing that goes inside the visor. It's a bit of a pain in the backside. But I removed it, and what happened instead is it shattered the little pin that connects the Pinlock to the visor itself, therefore broke the visor, and it meant that I couldn't put the pin lock in because it wouldn't secure in, which meant I can't ride in the winter without the whole visor fogging up. So it's one of those things. I've had to buy a new visor and a new pin lock, which I've spent 30 minutes fitting today. A cost of about 75 or 80 quid in total for both. But I wasn't too happy. But it will mean that I'll be more careful in the future. Even fitting it today, I thought, oh please God, don't break it. Literally just been delivered. Ooh, Matthew Nice, he says he might still have the awesome steel box that Flight Sim 2004 came in with a sick DC-3 on the cover. You can, Ian, yeah, you can change to the legacy music, which brings the FSX music back in the menus, doesn't it? For MSFS. Good shout, Volanta. Or Zato, rather. Good shout, Volanta. Let's look at Zato. That's. I've been tired for weeks, and I haven't really recovered, even with these 4 or 5 days off that I've had. So there's Badger up, slotting between Glasgow and Edinburgh at the moment, leading the pack offline, flying the 787-8. No screenshots. We've got Osprey 77 ahead of us, which I think's Ian. Although I've got no Volanta bits. I've got no Volanta screen grabs. Oh, hold on, there he is, all the way up there. Yeah, no screen grabs. Tsugoku as well. Zato there in his A320neo. Very nice screenshots. The clouds are great, don't they? Oh. Oh yes, that's me. Awesome screenshot there. What else have we got? Where's Tsugoku? Osprey, easy. There's me. There's Tsugoku. Osprey 4905 in the A330. We saw him on departure earlier on. No screenshots though. I think that's all of us. By the way, for those of you who want to fly into and out of Keflavik a little bit more, what I've done is I've actually created an official routing system now between both Gatwick and Manchester to Reykjavik and back in various aircraft that we have in our fleet at Osprey Airways. So that's now an option, a route option for you guys. We're going to lose the sun very quickly, I think. So we might have to just push the time back a little bit as we get closer towards Iceland. Hello Ian, evening to you, or good morning to you. I think it's just on the cusp of evening still, isn't it? I hope you're well, matey. And prep for Christmas as well. Says not been joining streams, having major internet issues, can't even watch the stream, it's that bad. Hope to get it sorted tomorrow, fingers crossed, no worries at all. Good to hear from you, good to hear you're okay. And if we don't speak to you in the next few days, although we are on Discord of course, I hope you have a great Christmas, Ian. Badger says, God, my bike is costing me money. I know. I know. 707 Liner says, I think I should get a roof over my head and ditch the bike. You know what? My car, I've drove it to work once in 3 weeks. And I've rode the bike in every other day. There's something addictive about it. It's almost like you're in the fresh air. Even though you're on the motorway and you're zipping up back home or to work, down towards London, there's something quite addictive about it. And it gives you a bit of a sense of freedom as well. But there have been a few near misses with cars that even though you're very visible, they don't necessarily see you. But it's riding defensively that you kind of say. I drive quite defensively as well, so I follow the same principles that I've learned over the years in the car with training that I've had on the bike, and that at least tries to keep me safe when the weather's a bit better, because it's absolutely hammering it down at the moment out the window. But when the weather gets a little bit better, what I'm going to be doing is doing my advanced rider training, so that I've got my advanced driver stuff with the Institute of Advanced Motorists, so I could do the rider training for that as well, and that would be quite good. Mike Oliver, welcome buddy. Awesome. A whole year almost. Good old Gibraltar, yes. Rumour has it MPS Gaming is still being recovered out of the sea. Oh, Lazarus. Keep at it. Keep at it. Is it the blighted U-turn that you guys have to do? Because I think you're around sort of Thessaloniki way, aren't you, Lazarus? It sounds like you might be very similar to the way our Mod 1 works, with kind of putting our foot down and things like that. Have a great Christmas, Jan. Smidsy indeed, Andy. Yes, that's good old Smidsy. Sorry, mate, I didn't see you. Could have been Wesley. Wesley's usually doing something a bit chaotic. 1,200 metre runway. A350 it is. Hello MPS, welcome mate. Where are we now in flight? Just north of... I think we're just passing Edinburgh. Almost about to pass Edinburgh. How are you feeling as well? Try and catch up. Ooh, let's see. Depends where you think you might be able to catch up from. Edinburgh's a good shout. You could try, in fact you could depart Inverness potentially, up there, and then join the routing. That could be an option for you. If not, perhaps a short hop from the Faroe Islands, Vega. It'll give you time to set up. That'll take us about, what are we now? We're about 2 hours, an hour and a half before we reach that kind of region. Roughly about an hour and a half. Inverness could be a good one. Depends on what the kind of load sheets would look like on New Sky as well. Yeah, Lazarus, it sounds as tough as the UK ones. You have to do hill start, angle starts, junctions on the road test. And then on the Mod 1, which is the thing you have to pass before you can do your road training, which is the Mod 2. The Mod 1 is all the slow riding, so U-turns, riding less than 5 miles an hour. It's going up to 30 miles an hour and doing emergency stops, emergency swerves, controlled brakes, slalom, figure of 8. Lots and lots. It was quite tough. .707 Liner says, AV8, as a Perth resident, all you can assume is the advanced course in Perth would have shown you how to use indicators. So Western Australia drivers are the worst. Yes, Paro in the 747, Andy. So today, actually, we almost did Paro. We almost did Kathmandu to Paro and back, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, we've ended up kind of just changing to this. Which is interesting because we had no idea about the volcano, but obviously overnight that volcano in Iceland has erupted. In fact, let's see if we've got live pictures of that. Jeez. Well, that's the Beeb. Are you ready for this? My goodness. What a photo, though. Look at that. Wow. Holy Christ. So that's right near to the airport that we're flying to. It's not going to be shown in MSFS, unfortunately, but that is an hour ago. Oh my goodness. Ah, Peter, good stuff. I'd imagine you have, yes. There's the moment the eruption began. Various webcam live camera things was kind of zooming in and monitoring it 24/7. I'm not even going to mention the article on the right. Volcanoes erupted on the Reykjavik Peninsula, southwest Iceland, after weeks of intense earthquake activity. Zip. Move that across so we get to see those beautiful engines. 4,000 people evacuated last month from Grindavik, a fishing town 4 kilometres away. Apparently the fissure is over 4 kilometres in length already, so it doesn't sound great for Grindavik, unfortunately. Eruption started north of the town at 22:17 local last night, so overnight, as we slept. A resident living near Grindavik described crazy and scary scenes that night, saying she could still see the volcano exploding on Tuesday. It's been braced for activity for weeks. And since late October, the region around Reykjavik, the capital, has been experiencing earthquake activity. The eruption can be seen from Reykjavik, which is about 42 kilometres northeast of Grindavik. And half the sky in the direction of the town was lit up red from the eruption. Smoke seemed billowing into the air. People panicking, getting extra supplies of water on Monday night, but it's returned to normal again today. That's well, it's a beautiful sight, isn't it? It's a remarkable sight. I know, Andy. I'll scroll down in quite quickly when I realised. Yeah, it's a beautiful sight, and it's quite a remarkable thing to see, isn't it? I've been in a Category 5 hurricane before in the Dominican Republic, and that was a remarkable experience because you get to see nature at its most powerful with that kind of weather event. That it's always mesmerising looking at photographs like this and videos like this because of how spectacular it looks. The reality of being anywhere near this, I'd imagine, is just petrifying. They're saying there that they don't see that in the future they're going to allow people to get close to Grindavik, so the residents, having been evacuated, are just having to wait. The jets of lava are quite high, at least the beginning is a powerful eruption. And that's the kind of location. So that line there, that white line, is that big old fissure that's over 4 kilometres that we mentioned earlier. The BBC saying it's about 3.5. I've seen some reports of saying over 4 kilometres. And lava flowing out at a rate of 100 to 200 cubic metres per second. And that's many times more than recent eruptions of the Reykjavik Peninsula. And there's Reykjavik on the top of that chart, that map there. We can see a little black dot of Reykjavik. That's where we're flying into today. At the actual peninsula. And the volcanic eruption is that black square. And then it's talking about that Iceland volcano from 2010, which I was flying in at the time as an air cadet flying instructor. We grounded the fleet, as did small aircraft operators and big aircraft airliners and all that sort of stuff, and ash was on most of our engines. Not ideal. That's remarkable. That's the fishing town of Grindavik, by the looks of it, and the eruption in the distance. Wow. No threat to life from eruption apparently, 6 hours ago. Quite impressive. Yes, indeed, well, yeah. Nature's beautiful, but just as dangerous as well. Hello, James, welcome. Dan says, hello, hope all is well with you as well. Good my side, thanks for asking. Have we flown into Guatemala City, he's asking. There's a good scenery in the airport. Is in the city, surrounded by mountains, with a fun approach, and it's served by almost all of the US airliners. We haven't, Dan, actually, to be fair, no. Is it payware scenery or freeware scenery from FlightSim.to or that kind of thing? Greenland's a beautiful place to fly around, Andy, absolutely. David, good morning, mates. Hope you're well. See how we're getting on here. Still got that big old crosswind of 65 knots. Just going to have a little look here for optimal step. Not yet implemented. Boo! Oh well. .1. Not much fuel, is it? Neil's asking, how do you plan a descent by and the vertical speed by which you're going to descend? There's a simple mathematical rule that you can use, but it depends on what aeroplane you're using, because if you're in this and you've got VNAV, you can just get to top of descent, set your altitude based on what you need on the charts in the descent, and then you just put it in managed mode and let it deal with it itself. Same with the 737 as well from PMDG, because that's got a really good bit of VNAV as well. Takes a lot of the stress away, but if not, it's going to be around 80 to 90 miles. So flight level 300, Andy saying there, is approximately 90 miles. That gives you a bit of an idea. And you're going to descend about 1800 foot per minute to 2000 foot per minute, who knows. David, hello buddy. Yes, thanks for reminding me. What's the weather doing in Reykjavik at the moment, actually? Let's have a little look in the live chat with our command, BIKF. Keep smashing the like button, folks, if you're enjoying today's live stream as well. It's great to have you all on board with us today throughout our little route to Iceland today. Weather then, 14Z, 300 degrees at 18 knots, gusting 28, with vicinity showers. Few clouds, 1,800 cumulonimbus. There's a risk of icing there. Scattered cloud 2,500, broken 3,800, -0 for the temperature, -3 for the dew point at QNH 1002. So that pressure's just gone up by 2 hectopascals. I was going to say millibars, but it's not millibars anymore, is it? It's hectopascals, even though the actual numbers themselves didn't change. And it's there in the little display too. So we could look at the arrival that we're going to do. I suppose we could just put it in now, couldn't we? So we're looking at completing the ASRUN 1 hotel arrival into Keflavik via Dover for the ILS runway 28. It's going to be the ILS Zulu runway 28. So the clearance limit up here is Dover, max 230 knots, between 3,500 to 6,000 feet at that point. And from there we want to select ILS Zulu via Dover, which is this 707 liner. Have a good one, mate. Sleep well. Merry Christmas. So we're basically flying straight into Dover, then final approach, like so. Now, Reykjavik itself is up here, the city of. If we just go to world map, there's the city of Reykjavik and the little Reykjavik regional airport. The international airport is there, and Grindavik is right here. So the volcano that's erupted is kind of in the centre of our charts at the moment there. So that's very close. It basically is on our left-hand side as we make our approach. Which then begs the question, how safe is Keflavik International Airport at the moment? Because I know they have grounded flights, or at least they had grounded flights. I'm not sure if they've still got a ground stop in place. But there was a concern that this road here might be compromised by the volcano in real life as well. It's the main kind of arterial road linking the city to the international airport, and that little Grindavik town there has been completely evacuated as well. Satellite views. One of these here is the volcano. Might be that one there. So if we go to weather, I wonder if Navigraph has it. How would we work this out? Hello Automator, good morning mate. It doesn't look like we've got any of that. Okay. Flight Radar 24 shows the location. Okay, let's have a look at Flight Radar 24 then. How do you actually view it? Is it in the premium one? Oh, hold on. Volcanic eruption. Found it. There it is. So the airport is right there. And the volcano that's erupted is right there. Nice. So on the charts, it puts it here. That's the volcano there. Very close to the airport, isn't it? There's a lot of rain on the final approach path, by the looks of it. Moderate rain. Let's change back to IFR high. So at over 3 nautical miles, KFI 28 for the initial fix, down to 2,500 feet. Hopefully we're on the glide slope by that point, max 210 knots. We'll step down to 1,800 feet for Ardal to join a 5-mile final to runway 28. The airport elevation is 170 feet, and the final approach course is 282 degrees. Frequency 108.5, which we need to make sure that we've got. And there's a note there, final speed minimum 160 knots until 4 DME. That good old standard 160 till 4 rule. Missed approach is climb on course 282 to 3000. Expect vectoring by Keflavik approach. And I tell you what, it won't be going left-south today. We'll probably be routing north over Reykjavik city, but we're in the sim, we can do what we want. Minimums 369 on the Barrow, and that's all of it. Looking at vacating, 3,000 metre long runway on runway 28, and in all likelihood we'll be vacating Bravo 1 with a right turn on Kilo, left on Charlie into the international terminal area. There, we're expecting stand 5, I believe, for our arrival today. So we can go ahead and put all of that into the aeroplane. BIKF arrival ILS Zulu 28. ASRUN 1 Hotel via Dover and insert. There's ASRUN. There's a Dover, followed by the final approach and a flight plan. (1085) for the ILS frequency. IKW is the 3-letter code. Which is that one. That's loaded in the course of 282, so we just checked charts to make sure it's all good, and it's got a -3 degree slope as well for final approach. Something to bear in mind there. Angus says, how do you know what gate to expect upon arrival? Is this something you just look at ahead, or is it included in the sim brief somewhere? We just look at the real world routes. So Doc has basically looked at our route. Doctor on board in the live chat. He's looked at our route for today, looked at it yesterday, and looked at the real world easyJet flight that operated out to Keflavik yesterday. So looked at the departure gate, looked at the stand that he arrived at as well. Oh, look at that, we're being overtaken by an Osprey A330. Come on, don't go too fast too quickly. Oh yeah. Great screenshot. How arty-farty can we get with this? Awesome. Doc will monitor the flight in real life, and he will then look at what stand they park at the end as well, Angus. So you can use things like Flight Radar 24. You can punch in the route that you want to do, and you can just look at what the real aircraft have done in real life. Now, the cruise altitude that they used yesterday might not be the same as the one that they're using today. So, because the weather's always different, and we use live weather in the sim, and because of that, with different lows, different weights, different winds, our cruise altitudes might not always match up with what the real aircraft did over the couple of days prior to us actually flying it. So that's something else to bear in mind. But the gates we can try and replicate as best as we can. Zooming along gears. Pop those screenshots onto Volanta. Interesting, so they're still flying into Keflavik then, Doc? Soon change your mind, Aviate, when the 777 comes from PMDG. We'll try a bit of Mach 80, shall we, to see what we get with the fuel predictions. Optimal 380. I think we might step up. New cruise 380. So we'll go for the optimal because we're going to try and fly a bit quicker, therefore I want to try and save as much fuel as possible, and the optimal will be perfect for that. It also might mean the winds will be slightly different too. That's also our maximum, we can't go any higher. I'll keep it smooth, just plus 800 foot per minute. There's Lazaros in his A330. Mikhail, no, don't worry about that, buddy. Oh, Gav, Really not sure, to be honest, buddy. Not sure at all about Xbox controllers and Xboxes with Airbus throttles. Because we're going to our maximum flight level today, which is also, it just happens to be our optimal cruise, we're going to notice the flight envelope close in on us. So our green dot minimum clean is that just there, 254 knots, 253 knots. Our alpha floor is going to come up slightly, and our VNE is actually going to possibly come down slightly as well. Mikhail, if there was a controller online, we would just call up as normal, and we would just be guided by what they say. If they want to give us an oceanic clearance, then we could just work through the same as what we would do for a VATSIM oceanic crossing from JFK to Heathrow, for example, with Reykjavik control. 51 minutes average delay on arrivals for Keflavik, Rab says. Oof. Now, interestingly, it's we're actually below minimum clean, which is an odd one. But this does fly a bit funky, this A321neo with the headwind mod. Sorry, the Horizon Simulations mod. The green dot tends to be a bit of an odd airspace. Yeah, as Mikhail, you're asking, as Doc's pointing out, we're not actually flying through oceanic airspace today. We've got waypoints and all that sort of stuff, and as he's saying there, we're going through Scottish airspace, then Reykjavik control. Musty, hello. Not sure, buddy. We've certainly got a busy few weeks ahead, that's for sure. Right, 380. I reckon our minimum clean would be near to about 250. Just the green dots in a bit of a higher position than we otherwise think. I'll work out. Yeah. I like a good training sesh. Gotta get swole for Flight Sim Expo, don't I? So what I've done is I've paused the clock there. As we fly further towards Reykjavik, that'll start to just slightly go a bit lower. But I've actually locked the time there because we'll go into this perfect lighting conditions for the arrival. Otherwise it'll be dark in Keflavik. It also saves us having to wind the time back. I've gone to Mach 80, Rab. And we're still over a little bit of the North Scotland at the moment. Hey, Mikhail, thank you, buddy. Really appreciate that. Very generous of you. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thanks for the ongoing support. Really appreciate that super chat, mate. And good to see you're here in the chat as well and doing okay. Merry Christmas to you and your family, albeit under hard circumstances at the moment, but try and keep that chin up and make the most of it. The strobes are very quick, aren't they, engineer? You see them flashing away rather rapidly. But beyond that, I've not really paid too much notice for them, to be fair. Absolutely, Mikkel. Yes. A year for firsts is always difficult as well. This would be my first year celebrating Christmas without being able to just give me mum a bell or pop in and go in and see her, drop some presents off and stuff. You've just got to try and make the best of it.
A bit Christmas aid. Merry Christmas all.
That's so slow in catching up, isn't it? Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Now, according to VAS Airplane Toolbox, runway 28's got a tailwind of 8 knots. Tailwind of 8 knots? Nah, no way. We'll have to change that approach if that's the case. Config 3 and medium auto brake, apparently. Tailwind of 8, my goodness. Which would actually be runway 10 for a headwind of 8 knots. So we might have to change. But that might be VAS Airplane Toolbox doing some weirdness, because Navigraph says 18 knot headwind for runway 28 and a 7 knot crosswind. So I think the VAS Airplane Toolbox METAR might be a little out of date. It doesn't tell me when it was generated though. I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll stick with 28. I was clicking the METAR generator. I think their METAR feed's still very broken.
Merry Christmas.
Hey David! Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it. Big old tip there as well. Super generous. Merry Christmas to you as well. And all your family. Hope you guys are all ready for it. Looking forward to it as best as you can. Really appreciate that tip. We'll stick with 28 because I think we verified that the METAR in VAS Airplane Toolbox is broken. We'll go with what we've actually got in Navigraph and in the sim and stuff as well. And we're just about at the halfway point, so I'm going to go and fill my water up. I'm going to grab some chocolate. I don't think I've opened my advent calendar for today either, actually. And I've got some salt and vinegar Pringles, which I don't know why, but they changed the recipe 2 years ago. And it's my little thing for the day, for you to remember. They changed the recipe for Pringles a few years ago and made it super zingy, didn't they? They did this thing where the salt and vinegar intensity was doubled. And there was a little phase where the flavour was just out of this world, but it actually made my lips swell up because of how intense the taste was. There's just something about it, but I just can't. I can't not have more of them, even though I can feel my face swelling from the zinginess. But yeah, knowledge is power. I'm going to go and grab some salt and vinegar Pringles and some chocolates and top up my water. I'll be right back. Just imagine my face with a mild allergic reaction. It's probably the best way. Probably the best way I can describe it to you guys. Right, I am back, stocked up on Pringles. I found a champagne truffle chocolate thing as well. I think I've had my half as well. I can't have any more because the missus will have a go. So I had one of those, couple of Lindt chocolates. Yummy, yummy. Can't go wrong with those. I brought the salt and vinegar Pringles up with me as well. ABEVI says he prefers the Pringles in Oz. The UK versions are crap. Never tried them. Sour cream and chive. Lovely. Yes, Ian. Nice. I like... You know, you can buy those dips from Tesco which have got the garlic... Like the garlic and the cheese and chive dip and all that in a little quad pack. What I like to do is get the salt and vinegar Pringles and then I dip them into the dips. So I get like the garlicky zing plus the salt and vinegar zing from the Pringles as well. It's like a double whammy. Pure delight. Little insight to how my brain works. Paprika Pringles for Ashton, nice. Am I flying somewhere during Christmas and New Year? Engineer is asking. Christos is asking. So, not in real life. In the sim, yes. But I am working through Christmas. I'm working up to Christmas Day morning as well. In fact, to be fair. I'd never take a pillion, Rav. You would, if I mean, I wouldn't ever be on. I wouldn't even go pillion. It's better than the original was, James. Yeah, absolutely. Engineer as well. Very nice. Flying to Belgium on Friday. Oh, you haven't had a CTD, have you, Ian? And actually, if you have, were you tracking on New Sky? Because you might be able to zip it back using their flight restore functionality, which is very good. So that way you can spawn back in at Inverness perhaps, and you can go through setting up the right fuel and everything else. Take off, and then click a button, it zooms you back to where you had the CTD, and then you just carry on the flight as you were normally, just 10-15 minutes slightly behind your intentional thing. But oh yeah, Ian saying no, sorry to saying no to riding passenger on a motorbike. I wouldn't do it. I've had the chance a few times in the past. In fact, my dad did his bike license years ago. I think he had a Hornet, I think, from memory. And he was like, I'll get you a helmet, I'll get you on the back. I said, absolutely not. Riding a motorbike myself, absolutely love it. Really, really enjoyable. Great thrill, very fun. Quite technical as well, which is quite nice. I like that sort of thing. But I would never go pillion. I don't think I'd want to have anyone on the back of my bike either as a pillion. You're reliant on them leaning into the turns with you and getting it right, and if they don't, it can destabilise the bike, and I just don't want that. It's a gamble enough as it is, without that kind of stuff as well. James, I have and I've booked, yes. The channel's got a dedicated Flight Sim Expo link this year. It's probably the only Flight Sim Expo I'll ever attend. So if you are going, book with our link, and hopefully if we get enough referrals, we will collectively get a number of food and beverage vouchers which we can all share amongst us and use with one another, which will be quite cool. Rap. My goodness. Yeah, no, and Ian, that's exactly precisely why I'd never go pillion. The fact that I'm not in any form of control in relation to what the person at the handlebars and the twist grip is doing. Heck no. If anyone's looking at booking the Flight Sim Expo tickets, you can click the link which I'm about to put into the live stream live chat today, and that'll take you through to the Flight Sim Expo website. It'll allow you to register, and if you're an FSA first officer you get 10% off. If you're an FSA captain you get 20% off your ticket as well, which is cool. And that specific link for our channel means that we collectively get those kind of it's like a group booking without it being a group booking, if that makes sense. They can monitor who's booking from what channel, and with that they get specific perks, which is quite cool. Osprey 495 seems to be veering way off the flight path, Rab says. Oh yeah, he's gone off that way. Got more direct routing up towards ALDAN. Same with Badger actually, look. So at BARKU, we should have... Where's my briefing? $5.5 tons of fuel on board, apparently. We'll flight some final, Doc says. Very excited. Lady Florence, welcome. Brucey, welcome, thanks for subscribing, buddy. That's the real flight. Bam, easy 1-2 Bravo Victor. That's what we're following today. We're chasing the real aircraft, which yesterday was on an A321neo. Hence why we're doing it in this today. That's an A320neo on today's route in real life. Short final now, 3-4 miles. Easy 85 Hotel Echo behind from Edinburgh. Followed right behind by an Iceland Air 73 Max 8, I think, or a Max 7. But there's the volcano. Effusive eruption continues. IMO have confirmed there is no VA. Volcanic ash. Number 5 worldwide. Is in the 5th most tracked aircraft in the minute. Currently being tracked by 436 people live this flight in real life. Oh yeah, it's number 4 in worldwide tracking on the top left. That's incredible. Yeah, good spot, Doc. Big Phil, nice. Enjoy. As I said earlier on, for those of you flying on Osprey Airways now, you can fly from Gatwick and Manchester with scheduled routes to and from Keflavik. The heck? Super weird. I mean, technically it's being tracked by an additional 116 people. Because you guys are watching us track it on this. Oh, there's the runway. Pretty much, James, yeah. Very exciting times ahead for us, early 2024. And exciting times for PMDG and their product line as well. Is it me or does it look like it's flying this approach incredibly slowly? We've got an 80 knot headwind. Loads of aircraft flying in. All of these actually. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Probably that one there, 13. 14. Crikey. Yeah, good point. There's a big old headwind at the minute. G'day Grant, how you doing buddy? Mike says he remembers when Harry Kane moved to Bayern Munich and every journalist and his dog learnt what flight radar was. And now they use it all the time. Little tiny little port there. How you doing Grant? Have they changed the amount of data? Oh there it is. 1,000 feet now. 120 knot ground speed. Nabil, welcome. 1,000 feet. Indicated 144, Doc says. Yeah, that's not applicable for me because I don't pay for flight radar premium. It is the Horizon add-on for the LatinVFR A321neo, Nabil, yes. 700 feet. There he comes. Meow. Idle, flare, holding it, holding it, holding it. Touchdown about probably now. Bish bash bosh. He's on the ground. And that is the same star that we're about to do in a short while. Nabil, really? It seems fine for me. Yeah, the Horizon add-on for the A321neo is fantastic. It makes the LatinVFR A321neo and their A319 as well. It makes it usable. I think without it, we definitely wouldn't be using it. Bit 0.2 right of track, are we? Interesting. Light snow showers now in Keflavik at 290 degrees at 19 knots. Light snow, a few clouds, 200 feet. Scattered 1,800. That spread's dropped a little bit as well. -0 for temperature still, but -3 for the dew point. Broken at 4,700. So we're just monitoring all of that all the time. Gruzi says he's new to Microsoft Flight Simulator. He's found that his 3070 isn't enough when he sees our live streams. 3070 is pretty good, buddy. That's still very good. I'm lucky because I'm able to run this sim in 4K on a 4K screen, and therefore also output it to you guys in 2K 60 frames per second. So I'm honoured to be able to do that. But yeah, it does change the sim experience a heck of a bit, but it does require a lot of hardware. So the graphics card, yeah, but I also then need a 4K monitor, which I've got, and they're not cheap, and it allows me then to enjoy the sim in proper 4K. But a 3070 is a very capable graphics card still. You'll still get a very good experience from that. But even 2K, 2K is fine, mate. Paolo's asking, are there announcements for the Osprey Airways? And can you use them on New Sky? So New Sky haven't got the functionality of having cabin announcements, but what you can do is use a tool like lukeairtool.net. You can download their freeware tool. You can add custom airlines in. So you can either use their generic announcements, or in our liveries thread inside our Discord server, Paolo, there is a zip file which has all of the it's got a couple of cabin announcements in there, like safety demonstration and after landing announcements, which you can add into the Luke Air tool, and then you can click them for each phase of flight you're in whenever you need those announcements, basically. Faroe Islands to the right, Mikhail says. I don't know if we're going to see it through this. Luke Air Tool, Paolo, which is it's this. So for EasyJet, I've got all these cabin announcements that we were playing earlier on, various different airlines. You can add your own custom ones as well. Michael, hello mate. Welcome, welcome. RATSU with 5.3, so we're 300 kilos above our fuel estimates. That's good. Probably helped stepping up to 380 to be fair. No, James, there won't be. We see the Faroe Islands. They're like over there somewhere. Can't really see them. They're basically just over there on the horizon, but under the cloud. And now we've got this whopper of a headwind. Yeah, Blue, I won't be doing a face cam, buddy, don't worry. Although if anyone is at Flight Sim Expo, you guys I'll be able to meet you guys there in person. But there won't be a face cam or anything like that. 83 knots, slowing us right down. Look at our ground speed, 375 knots. Oof. Oh, Rab, nice. Very nice. Dark shades and a wig, yes. I think we're zipping around in someone else's contrails. Yeah, we're literally in those contrails there, or were. That's pretty cool. Michael, nice. If you can, make sure you use our own channels link. And I'm hoping then if we have enough, I'll be able to share food and beverage vouchers with everybody who's used our dedicated link. Amongst some other perks as well. Oh no, Blue, I'm off at the moment, but I go back to work after tomorrow for 4 days, including 2 night shifts that will go into Christmas Day morning. So like last year actually, which is a bit naff, but I did change team onto the opposite shift pattern. So my team that I was on will be working Christmas Day for 12 hours, 7 till 7, which is really naff. But my new team are finishing our working week on Christmas Day morning. Hello Matthew, good morning to you, welcome, welcome. Hey, I can't talk about it, engineer on board, unfortunately. Some people have figured it out, but I wouldn't ever confirm it. That sort of stuff. I'm hoping I'll be streaming on Boxing Day, Michael. If not, the next day with something very special in a preview. Very excited for that. No worries at all, Christos. I tried to get promoted again, Lazarus. For the second year in a row, I failed again. I think part of it might be a personal thing, I don't know. But there's no way to appeal the process, unfortunately. So I just have to suck it up and try again next year. Oh, nice, Mikkel. I say nice, but it's not a very nice time though, so it's kind of bittersweet, isn't it, I guess? You're getting the time off, but a lot of it's not for great reasons. Exciting news indeed, Michael from PMDG, yes. Mushy, thanks for subscribing. Merry Christmas. And welcome aboard. So the further north we go, that sun just ever so slightly just drops down a little bit in its position. It won't change massively, but by the time we get to Reykjavik, it's going to be probably between where it is now and the horizon, somewhere in the middle. And as we descend further down, that sun will kind of follow down as well, because that horizon in a way is rising as we descend. Probably the easiest way to explain it. So it will get darker as we make our way in. The sea below looks wonderful, doesn't it? So do the colours, in fact. Okay, oh, nice. Well, I'm hoping on either the 26th or the 27th. It might be the 27th. It's a bit more family time sort of thing. Basically, we're most likely going to be doing Gatwick to Corfu in a twin-arm Monarch aircraft of some sort. Yeah. Very much looking forward to it. MPS, nice. Airborne. Gatwick to Corfu, Mikhail. Doc says the real-life aircraft looks like it's parked at gate 7. I'll put 5/7 on my notes then, just in case.
Traffic.
Why does it do that? It's like 30 miles ahead. Unless for some reason it instantly thinks it's coming towards us, in which case that 30 miles will vanish very quickly. 7 has a jetway, 5 doesn't. Ooh. 7 it is then. Andre, yeah, give the Flybawar A321neo a go. It's a very good aircraft, especially because it's a freeware aeroplane as well. It's a remarkable bit of kit. This one, however, is the LatinVFR A321neo, but with the Horizon Simulations mod, which makes it usable with the Flybawar A321neo systems, but in the A321neo model, if that makes sense. Mike, yes, they did. But I've said it now with over 100 people watching, so if they do take the route, you know where it should. Yeah, I'll still be doing it. Michael, thank you, matey. Appreciate that very much. Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. Appreciate all your support over the last year. We've probably got, after Christmas, maybe 2 streams before the new year, or at least 1 stream before the new year.
Climb, clear of conflict.
What the heck? TCAS is going a bit wild. What? Apparently something's appeared there. It's detecting something, but I can't see anything.
Merry Christmas to you and yours. Thanks for the streaming memories in 2023.
Good old catching up. Appreciate it. I can't work it out. He's a few miles ahead. It could be Santa Sleigh on a warm-up run. This one says it's 5 miles on the nose. Yeah, it's a good shout actually, Matthew. So we'll pop the transponder to TA instead. The RA is making us climb and we don't want that. So we'll just use TA so we can see the traffic on the monitor, but that's it. Nothing on VATSPI. Doesn't make any sense. Zarto's at 360 and he's just behind us. And then Ian's all the way up there, he's miles ahead, so he's not an issue. There's nothing on Volanta. No idea what that is. It's a UFO. Super bizarre. TA is the traffic advisory, Jan, and the RA is the resolution advisory. So basically what it might do is still give us the traffic, and it will give us the little blips on the diamonds here in TA mode. If we were on RA mode, it would give us the resolution advisory as well, like when it said climb a moment ago and then clear of conflict. But this aircraft will then also initiate a climb to avoid the conflict as well. Hopefully that makes sense. It's the easiest way to kind of explain it. Plops, hello, welcome. Keflavic's now showing low vis IFR. 2,000 meters visibility now, so that's dropped significantly from 28 minutes ago. In snow showers, so it's gone from light snow showers to snow showers. A few clouds at 300, overcast 1,100 cumulonimbus. The dew point is -1 and the temperature is also -1 now, and the QNH 1003. So that's a bit of a change in the weather. So it sounds like it's getting pretty pants in Keflavik at the moment, weather-wise. Dwal, it's because we've got a bit of a weird... We're not really sure why. It's not there anymore. If I go to nav mode, it's there in nav mode, which is really weird. Oh. So it's picking up something. In arc mode it's not there. In nav mode it is. But basically it just tried to make us climb to avoid traffic because it's not there. So because of that, as Matthew suggested, we'll pop it onto TA mode and it stops us having the automated climb to avoid the conflict. Blue, crikey. Matthew says, according to VATSPI, I have EasyJet 840 in front of us at flight level 380. That's that one there. Oh look, all of a sudden he's really close. I thought Zarta was at 36. Volanta says 36. We must be picking up him, which is interesting because it's on nav mode but not displayed on this. Right, let's see what we can do about that. Progress, break max 385. That's not helpful at all then. So that's it, switch to guns. I can't fly an automated offset track on this. I think it's the pressure altitude Zato, so it shows a different altitude, if that makes sense. to what the standard pressure would be, because we're on standard pressure flight level 380, but that's alright, I'll descend to 360, Zato. Unless you've already initiated, in which case I'll stay here. I'm happy to do either. It's either that or I'll just go to offset track and I'll do 310.
Descent of level 360 for station.
Have you been getting any TCAS, Sato, actually, out of interest? And also, what's your speed? Mach 8.2? What? What's your ground speed? I can't have closed you up that quick. Andy, welcome back. Yes. We've had, what this is, we've just gone Fox 2, in fact, towards that little aeroplane there. Zato says your his ground speed is none. I think we can safely put RA back on. Ah, I've got it. Yeah. Understood. I might have to slow down a bit for you, Zato. You're doing Mach 8.2, but your ground speed's 343. Christ. We've got a 100 knot headwind as well at the moment. Brutal.
And traffic, easy 8804. We'll be making a 90-degree turn to the left for spacing with the traffic behind.
I think I remember you mentioning that, Matthew, actually. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Matthew works for a real airline in the real world over in the States. He says our A321s have something called CDTI, which uses ADS-B data to display traffic and their call signs to us, and they can therefore use that to identify traffic as well as maintain time and or distance separations automatically. They can also program it to pass a fix further down the route a certain number of seconds behind an aircraft that isn't on the same route as us. And that would therefore, I'd agree, be a really neat thing to see in the sim. Zato's on the brake. Brake, brake, go! I reckon you could just do a slight offset. Because your 90 degrees turn is going to extend significantly. I think if you go 45 degrees, go parallel for a moment, and then 45 degrees back, you should slot in behind. If you go 90 degrees, you'll end up spaced too many miles behind me. That looks wicked, look at that. There's a screenshot for the day. What a wicked route this is. This is VATSIM, Christos. ALDAN is now in view along with our top of descent. We've got our descent winds put in. We can look at our performance page and we start thinking about, well, we're doing it a bit early, but it's because we spend a long time chatting about it as well. But we can start thinking about the weather in our destination as well. As a bit of a recap, if you are just joining us, what we've done is configured for the ASRUN
ALDAN.
1 hotel arrival into Keflavik, following that of the real aircraft that's just landed about 20-30 minutes ago. So we're going ASRUN 316 degrees.
We're gonna slow down to 0.7.
There's a hold at Dismo, which we could use Zato, could do a little hold if we need to. At or below flight level 140, then Keflavik 124, at or below flight level 120, 125 between 5,000 and 7,000 feet, and then up to our clearance limit of a Dover, maximum 230 knots between 3,500 and 6,000 feet before turning left to head west inbound on the ILS Zulu. So a Dover is there with a hold on just prior to final if it's really busy, and then 282 degrees down to 2,500 feet with a step then to 1,800 at 5 miles at Ardle, which is there on the glide slope on the way in. So 180 till 8, 160 knots until 4 DME, and then reducing to our final approach speed right at the end. Missed approach is the dashed arrow. Climb on course 282 degrees to 3,000, then expect vectors by Keflavik approach. And the volcano is right there where that 2240 is basically, so that's something to bear in mind. We wouldn't necessarily in real life have anybody vectored south towards that, so they'd probably route north over the city instead. RLS frequency, we've already made sure that's in the box, 1085 3-letter code IKW, and the inbound course 282, -3 degrees slope, and we can also tune Keflavik's VOR if we want, so KF V 112.8. Done. And then we can look at things like weather. So on the left hand side of your screen on with the charts, if I just refresh it a little bit, that's the current METAR. So as of 15:30Z, so 8 minutes ago, the winds are now 300 degrees at 17 knots, gusting 35 knots, variable between 270 degrees and 330 degrees. Visibility 2,000 meters. Does anyone know what SHGS means? There's a free one for you guys in the live chat. Showers of what? Snow pellets. If I'm not mistaken. Few clouds at 300. Scattered cloud 1,100 feet cumulonimbus. Broken cloud 3,900. -1 degrees for the outside air temperature. The dew point's -2. So now we've gone from a 0 degree spread to a 1 degree spread. So that might then mean that visibility begins to improve slightly. But the weather's been very unpredictable. It's been very up and down. So I wouldn't really expect it to be any different to how it is at the moment. QNH still 1003 there. Oh, hold on. It was it there the whole time? It was. Showers of small hail. It's literally written on the screen. Oh, now I feel stupid. Oh dear. Right. There's the TAF. So we've got like about an hour to go. The weather as it is at the moment is probably going to be the same. Temporarily between 15 and 17 Z, 3,500 meters visibility and light snow showers. Yeah, so it's pretty much as it is on the METAR currently, without much variation. Maybe the winds will back off a little bit and the visibility might just improve by another kilometre, but perhaps not. Certainly given the fact the volcano very near the airport's erupted. Pointy rain. Rain that will break your windows. Ian, great to hear. Yeah, sleet for us is the slushy snow, but hail is going to be the stuff that will smash your windscreen. Rich says he'd love to get into Microsoft Flight Simulator but just doesn't have the time amongst work, family and other hobbies right now, so just enjoy it from the safety of YouTube. Hopefully one day we'll be able to tempt you in. What other hobbies do you have, Rich, out of interest, if you don't mind me asking? You're not a motorcyclist, are you? Let's pop this weather data in. 1003. If it does change, it will only change a small bit. -1. Boom. Mag wind 300 at 17. And because of the gusts as well, it's 300 degrees at 17 knots, gusting 35 and variable between 270 and 330. What we actually want to do is add 10 knots to our approach speed. So while we've got VAP of 137, we actually want to add another 5 to that as a safety margin, because our airspeed at the minute, say we're on approach flying at 160 knots, for example, and we had a 35 knot gust, that all of a sudden would veer off to 330 degrees and drop down to 17 knots. We might find that we're flying too quickly, too slowly. Our airspeed might drop a bit too low. Where's the barrow? There, 369. RVR is an interesting one. So runway visibility, runway visual range of 550 meters with full lighting. The approach lighting system, if that's out, that extends up to 1,200 meters, but we won't have any issues for that. It'll be 550 today, 369 in the barrow, and we'll go for config 3, I believe. But what I'll do is just go to Bass Airplane Toolbox. I'll do this on the kind of shared screen. Hold on, so you guys can see me doing it, because all of this is very different. If I pull the METAR here, it's a bit broken. So too many screens. Right, winds. Extra number is the gust, so 300. Oops. 300. 1735. QNH 1003 hectopascals. We're going to go for contaminated, just to be on the safe side, and the outside air temperature -1. This is a very old METAR that they're using here, I think. The planned landing weight for us is on our Simbury flight plan. We're estimating that there's 71870. We'll use both reverses, no auto land. And I've also dropped 200 meters off the runway length as well. We'll then calculate this, and it's telling us to use full flaps. VAP +6 it says there, interestingly enough, but we'll go +10. We'll use auto brake low with reverse. Plenty of stop margin there, 600 meters. So config full, auto brake low. Matthew's asking, why is it important to put the winds in the approach performance page? To be honest, I don't know the answer to that, so I'll be interested to know. I've wondered it myself. I always thought it's because you're giving the flight computer, and therefore the autopilot, the kind of the mean winds as data, so that it can assess the approach speed calculations for you. But I might be wrong. That would be my assumption. Transition altitude, was it 1003? High to low, down you go. So actually it's quite a change. We'll change that to 9,000. Rich, no worries at all. DJing and sim racing of the car variety, he says his hobbies there. We've already checked all of our approach data, so quite happy with all of this. And ALDAN in 80 nautical miles. Real Turb updated to version 2, Michael says there. I don't have it. I've never heard of it, to be honest, actually. That's the very first time I've heard anyone mention Real Turb. I'm not sure what it is. Michael says putting the winds in the approach performance page is useful in, I assume you mean a Cat 3 auto land. We're going to learn a lot today. We've learnt that salt and vinegar flavoured Pringles used to taste less zingy than they do now, but it's better now because it does also sting your face a little bit and make your lips puff up, but the flavour is miraculously good and addictive. And we're about to find out why we actually write the wins in the approach performance page from Matthew. Yes, that's the one, James. Yeah, hail can do nasty things to cars on a motorway at 70 miles an hour, let alone an aeroplane doing 180 miles an hour. Sort out my headset. Wow, are they still making Gran Turismos? Crikey. Massive thank you to everyone who's hit the like button today as well. Great to see lots of you enjoying today's live stream. Got over 100 likes. Really appreciate every single one of those. Thank you very much. Matthew there saying, so the Airbus calculates something called ground speed mini. By inputting the runway winds, you are allowing the aircraft to calculate its expected ground speed crossing the threshold of the runway. Let's say the winds on the runway are 30 knots straight down the runway, but at 1,000 feet they're at 40 knots, with a sudden shear to the 30 knot wind. This will cause the indicated airspeed to drop by 10 knots. Therefore the ground speed mini will bump the speed up to 15 knots to protect against the wind shear. I wonder if we have that in here today. On this, the A321neo has got ground speed mini, hasn't it? Which then should mean that this has ground speed mini. I think. I think the Phoenix has ground speed mini, doesn't it? Trying to remember now. That would be Ian, 40 miles ahead. There's Zato. Lazarus says for him, Gran Turismo 5 was the last worthy one. After that, feels like they ruined it for him. In fact, we can just about see the coast of Iceland up there. Right, we'll check that then, Matthew, today. We'll leave the aircraft, as you say, in managed mode for the approach. From 160 at 4 miles, what we'll then do is go back into managed mode for the speed, and we will see if it's flying to 137 or if it's changed and it's flying at say 142 knots instead. Be quite interesting. Michael, is that for Microsoft Flight Simulator then as well? Real Turb. Dirty 2, nice. Hey, guess what I've got for dinner tonight? I'm going to cook some for Captain Loki as well, because he's worked really hard flying along today. Pheasant. Never had it before, but I was at the butcher's the other day getting some meat, getting ready for Christmas and things, and there was some pheasant there, and our dog absolutely loves pheasant. And I tried a pheasant pie the other week, which was just wonderful. So I found a recipe which involves garlic, cream, mushrooms, and pheasant breasts. And I'm going to be sprucing up some of that with some mashed potato later, which I'm looking forward to. First time trying a pheasant breast. Hopefully I don't get no shot in it. Nobody wants a lead ball bearing in their mouth. Neil, which football team do I support? None of them. It was Norwich for a while, but I don't like football. Unless you mean NFL, in which case, unfortunately, the Patriots. Not that they're doing very well anymore. And I quite like watching the Browns play as well. Might have to dig more into that then, Michael. I'll get some more information from you on our Discord server in relation to what it is and all that sort of stuff and how it works, and then might be tempted by that. Oh, I've got plenty of wine in the house, Dirty 2. Don't you worry about that. Swedish Sim Pilot, am I using Tobii Eye Tracker? Let me just activate it. Yes. I don't use it in the cruise. It's kind of pointless for airliners at any point other than on the ground taxiing. So I've got a toggle which then deactivates it. There is beautiful Iceland. Just coming into view. A little hazy. Thanks, Michael. Is Clink still around? I remember Project Megapack when they kind of left the community briefly a year and a half ago, and there was this torrent of abuse they put on announcements in their Discord with a few Fs and Jeffs thrown in it, and I just thought how utterly unpleasant. And then they disappeared for a bit, and then they came back for a bit, I think working with headwind simulations, making livery packs for the A330neo or something. I don't know. I stay away from them. They don't sound like a nice group of people. Mark, hello buddy. Season's greetings. Hope you're well. Hope you've settled in with the move and things as well. Timothy, click the link in the live stream description. Hello to you. Merry Christmas. There's a link that will take you to the Contrail web shop, and you'll be able to then purchase the LatinVFR A321neo. What you'll then need to do, this is only for PC, so if you've got Xbox, forget about it. But for PC, what you then need to do once you've installed the A321neo is go to flightsim.to and download the Horizon Simulations A321neo mod and then install it. What it will then do is it will make the A321 flight deck and all the systems become as good as the fly-by-wire A32NX, but without it, it's just rubbish, which is a bit rubbish. Mark, I have, yes, mate. Good to hear. Good to hear. Certainly with the new computer, my old mic, my headset that I had, there's just something not right about it, and I struggled. I struggled with it quite a bit, and you guys could struggle at hearing me sometimes as well. So I thought I'd buy a new headset with a brand new mic. Very good reviews. It's still wired. I like wired, and that way, hopefully, it improves the sound, and it certainly seems to have done so, which is great to hear. Jacob, very nice. Everything's going okay, thanks buddy. Just gotten back from his final day with Bristow Helicopters. Ooh. He's off now for Christmas, go back to his new company in the new year, Bond Helicopters. Nice. So are you zipping to and from the North Sea oil rigs and all that sort of stuff in real life? Since MSFS got released, Swedish Sim Pilot, I've flight sim before, flight sim 2002. I think was the last time I used a flight sim from memory. But MSFS released and I just couldn't resist. It sucked me straight back in. Mini FCU doesn't seem to work with this, unfortunately, no. Awesome, Jacob, that's wicked. Very, very cool indeed. $15.57. So we'll expect a new METAR shortly, prior to descent. So we'll probably refresh the METAR one last time. And then we'll see what we get in Iceland, because the weather's really bad. Part of me does wish that we had geological events modelled into the sim. I think that'd be really unique and very impressive. Maybe Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is something we could push for. I don't know. I think it would require quite a push from the community, but having live weather associated with geological events like a volcanic eruption, that'd be quite interesting, I think. Certainly educational as well for us. Abdilan, hello to you. Welcome. That's great to hear, buddy. Like them fires, MPS Gaming. Ride the barber pole. Jacob True, the FSS E190s are really quite poor though, to be honest. And if you fly on VATSIM, you can forget about it in the EGKs. If you don't fly on VATSIM, it doesn't matter too much, but the system simulations are still far from even remotely complete. So yeah, very much lacking still in a number of areas. God, they're very close to, oh no, that's ALDAN. That's 20 miles ahead, which will be Ian, I believe. There. We're making some very good progress. Look at the headwind now. 310 degrees. 310 knots. We're going backwards. 310 degrees at 132 knots. Oh, Mark, that's a heck of a mission for you then. Good to hear you're still bopping about doing some GA stuff. See what I was mentioning earlier on about the sun, where I've paused it in time. It's kind of an experiment in itself. I've locked it using Parallel 42 Flow Pro, and you can see there that it was further up, slightly higher earlier on. It will start to drop down. Further north we go, but as we descend as well, we will descend below the horizon line for the sun. The sun will appear to be going down quite quickly as we descend. So it'll be interesting to watch the position of the sun. Remember its location now, to see how that changes throughout our descent. Lucky you, MPS Gaming. Keep it. 96. Most likely, Mark, yeah. Oh. Did you see that violent weather shift then? Oh, the FMS. Yeah, but Jacob, the autopilot is default Asobo as well. And it doesn't have an LNAV or a VNAV that's custom to the aircraft. So it's basically the default Asobo A320 autopilot systems and the way it flies and that kind of thing, and that's it. Zato, no worries, buddy. Have a good one. Starting to get a bit more clarity in the murky lands of Iceland. And look at it lit up over there with the snow actually in the distance. That's quite cool. Lazaros 155 knot headwind. Unibuild's A300 trailers just dropped. Very exciting. Should we watch it? Hold on. Oh. I have to mute the music, unfortunately, because otherwise I'll end up with a copyright strike. We don't want that. So I have to mute the music, but we can watch the physical trailer. Oh, it's premiering as well. Right, let's go. Play. Ooh, look at the cabin. Let's go full screen. Ooh, cowls that open. Snazzy. Serviceable engine cowling. EFB looks nice, simple and clean. Monarch, yes, we're flying that. From the beginning, Doc says. We've got to find the beginning, which is here. Right, hold on. Let me activate top of descent. Otherwise we'll have problems. Down to what, 6,000 for the clear. I'll do 4. Right, down we go. So top of descent. Okay, let's dive back in. Play. FedEx, one of the biggest A300 operators, from what they were saying, so naturally they have that included as a livery here. Oh, look at those dials. It's in 1080p. So this is coming the other side of Christmas and before the New Year. So it's literally a week away, 10 days away, about 10 days away from release, roughly. An old school Emirates livery there, looking quite dirty, really cool. Look at that. Snazzy. I don't know why I've got captions on. I don't know why they're Arabic either. Mahana. The cabin looks really good. And it looks very much similar to the A310, which means that this should be quite a natural switch across. I've no idea what's going on in the sim because I can't. It's on my main screen. Flap tracks, oh, dedicated cargo ground service equipment, custom payloads, cargo door panel. That's cool if that's animated as well. Yum. Oh, old school metallic American Airlines livery. Look at that. Oh, shiny. We'll have to use that one as well, most definitely. Good old SimBrief integration, Navigraph charts integration. Oh, look at those fan blades rotate as well. Oh, very excited for this. There we go. Ta-da! And then the live trats descended into mayhem on their channel by the looks of it. Very cool. That's the Inibuilds A300 600 releasing maybe about 10 or so days away from now. They've said by the end of the year. So we all know that's not far away. Going to go to manage descent here, manage mode. American Airlines had a ton of Caribbean and Latin American routes with the A300s, so tons of island hops available. It's going to be payware, Aiden. Thanks, Doc. There's the latest METAR, 16Z, 290 at 20 knots. Bosh. 2,000 meters visibility and light showers of hail. Few clouds 300, broken 1700 cumulonimbus, temperatures -1, dew point -2, QNH 1003. It looks like we're on Unicom all the way. Here's our little VNAV line. That's our path indication for the VNAV. So we're about to intercept that, and there's our little profile indication there. So we've started the approach or the VNAV descent early to allow us to have a smoother entry into that descent. Down we go, 3,000 foot per minute. And as you can see, that somebody was asking earlier, we're at flight level 340 and it's going to be about 75 to 80 miles before we reach 4,000 feet. We've gone back to manage speed now, so we don't start to close in on Ian, who's ahead of us there. We're just monitoring that as well. I think he's about 20 minutes ahead. Where's that position of the sun? There we are, starting to fall down with us. No gusts indeed, but I think with the METAR at the moment, the early one was gusts. The one before that wasn't, and the one before that had gusts. I think we'll expect gusts anyway. Monarch, yeah, Gatwick to Dalaman could be a good one as well, actually, couldn't it? You know what? I'll leave it up to you guys in the live chat. Those of you who are our channel members, bronze, silver, gold. The one that's my favourite at the moment is Gatwick to Corfu. So we get to fly the A300 into Corfu with a VOR approach, flying a VOR arc. And it requires a manual landing as well, so we have to turn the autopilot off and hand fly that final approach. That's why I like the idea of Corfu. Plus short runways, quite tricky, quite technical. But if we get 2 or 3 different options, so over the next few days we can vote on it and decide. But the livery is definitely going to be Monarch. Zakynthos could be a good one. Although the Corfu scenery is a lot better than Zakynthos. Watching the speed there. It's dropped right down, hasn't it? It's sorting itself out though. Auto thrusters commanded an increase of power. Mykonos. We need actual real routes. Alicante's an option. Malaga was an option, but we've done that recently. There was Tenerife South as well. There's a few different options for real-world Monarch Airlines routes of yesteryear. They were based all over the place as well. They were definitely at Birmingham at one point. I remember seeing them when I went on holiday once for a Britannia Airways flight to Greece. and there was an A300 there with Monarch's Diamond Service livery all over it. There's quite a lot of options, but Gatwick and Manchester are their main hubs for that when it was in service. Aidan, I tend to just Google it. Like I googled Monarch A300 600 routes, and a few came up. Badger, good luck. Let us know. So from Mini Builds, they've got an updated schedule for the A300-600 project, version 1 product release before the end of 2023. Stage 1 hotfix in January 2024, where they're also going to submit the A300-600 for PC and optimised Xbox version to the marketplace in January. Stage 2 Pratt & Whitney engine variant added free of charge, along with full CPDLC and ACARS simulation, the modern radio unit option, and another host of bug fixes and improvements, and the target for that is Q1 2024. Stage 2 will then be Pratt & Whitney engine variant added free of charge, along with... Hold on, that's repeated itself. Stage 3 Epic mod variant paid expansion sometime in late 2024. Wonder what that one will be. There's the coast. Beautiful Icelandic coast. We're now in the Star, so ASRUN 1 Hotel. I'll have to turn my lights on in this room, it's chuffing dark. Matthew, that's a good idea. Aidan's asking, where do you see old routes for airlines anywhere? And Matthew said, use Flight Sim Dispatch, it can't be beaten. Freeware and a massive database of routes with departures and arrival times. Keflavik traffic, Easy 12 Bravo Victor's A321neo, currently flight level 235, descending at ASRUN for the ASRUN 1 Hotel arrival, expecting ILS Zulu runway 28. Will report near to final around Dover. Keflavik traffic. Slick, hello, we're on the VATSIM network, buddy, so we're not on any of the Microsoft Flight Simulator servers. City Update 5 release doc, that's the one with, was it The Hague and Brussels? Was it Brussels and a few other bits? Was it that one? That might be the one that Dursey2 had when it was the update that he said earlier on was suddenly pinging up for him. So I know it's targeting right at the lower end of this managed speed tape here, but I'm quite happy with that because we've got Ian right up ahead of us, probably about 10 miles. One on departure there, 24 below and climbing, so we're keeping an eye for him. He's down here somewhere, closing us. There's also updates for World Update 4. Well, too many Latin numbers. World Update 4, World Update 8, and World Update 15. 14. Oh my god. Brussels, Cadiz, Košice, The Hague, and Zagreb. Very nice. None of us anticipated the level of support that we've had from Microsoft Flight Simulator in relation to all of these sim updates, all of the world updates that we've had since release every single month. It's been remarkable, hasn't it? when we look back at what the sim's achieved, how it's progressed, what products we now have to enjoy as well, the simulation that we get, the experience that we get from this sim, it's just mind-blowing. I don't think any of us would have ever thought we would have a simulator at this standard at the end of 2023, with all this super exciting stuff looking to come out in the first half of 2024 as well, over the next few months. In the next week or two, Anybuild's A300, we've got the TFDR Designs MD11 being worked on actively as well. That'll be released at some point. We've got the PMDG 777, the PMDG 737 MAX 8, PMDG 747 at some point in the future. Flybywire's working on the A380, various other freeware groups working on A350s and all that sort of stuff. Just incredible. Bluebirds with their 757 and then later a 767. Great time to flight sim. Hello Wesley, good evening mate. Merry winter. 10 miles to go with a few thousand feet to lose. Got to be at or below flight level 140 at Dismo. Interesting. I'll keep an eye on that. Mateus, hello mate. Yeah, we tried to plan it at least one day ahead, and then it all gets talked about on our Discord server in advance usually. Now I've mentioned this a few times as well folks, but you might be watching for the first time perhaps and wondering what's going to happen shortly. When we go to local pressure, QNH currently 1003, it's 1 hectopascal for every 30 feet. So 1013 minus 10, we're looking at a 300 foot drop, which means... Oh yeah, we've got TCAS on all. We'll leave it on all. Does it? I'll put it on below, because then yeah we can see Lazarus ahead. So it's about a 300 foot drop. So to be fair, the transition altitude, we could probably change that to 8.5. You want about 1,000 foot separation between the transition level and the transition altitude. So having calculated roughly what the change of our altitude is on local pressure compared to standard pressure QNH 1013, 30 foot for every 1 hectopascal, we've got a 10 hectopascal drop, therefore about 300 feet in altitude on our altimeter there. That figure is going to drop by. So at 13,300, if we go to local pressure, they'll actually switch instantly to 13,000, just as an example. So we can look at the transition altitude. Climbing up for departure, the transition altitude is 7,000 feet. If the transition level was 7,000, 6,007. Yeah, 7,000. If the transition altitude was 8,000, it would mean that when we change to local pressure, there's only 700 foot altitude difference. So we have a slightly higher transition level, so that when we do change to the local pressure, we protect the 1,000 foot buffer zone. Some countries will do 500 feet buffer zones, it all depends, but if in doubt, add an extra 1,000 feet. High to low, down you go is the rule. And here's the coast for the first time in a few hours. Very exciting. Can't even see the sun position now, it's behind that cloud, it's dropped with us. It's doing a good job, isn't it, Doc? Lovely jubbly. Yeah, I suppose that's one train of thought that a lot of people had Ancient Dinosaur there. He thought that Microsoft would make us buy those add-ons from the marketplace, yet we've had all these free ones delivered to us. It's remarkable. I've done quite a few streams in Argentina, Raiden, yeah, and Ushuaia being one of them. It's a beautiful, beautiful approach. Very tricky as well, but stunning, really stunning. $10,000. Lights, signs, seatbelts.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray tables must be stowed, armrests down, and window blinds open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened and ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
Traffic Osprey 4905, turning final for ILS 28.
Ooh, look at that.
17 miles. To traffic.
Reykjavik traffic, Tango Foster Sierra Alpha Alpha, inbound RNAV, runway 01, flight level.
Closing in pretty quick now.
Reykjavik traffic.
Gonna go to vertical speed mode for now. How close is he? 5 miles. Local pressure, watch the altitude drop. 1013. Set. Flaps 1. $6,000 for the clearance limit at Dover. We might have to do a left-hand hold here, but we're 5 miles, so that's okay. We just need to manage this energy a bit better. Actually, we now need flap 2. The aeroplane flies a lot quicker than the A320. I don't know what that's done. That aircraft's broke off left. Oh, he's gone offline. $5 miles is fine. They were spacing them about 5 miles earlier on, about the same. So 180, well, that's what we want. We'll go for 1700 foot per minute for now. We'll just see what we get. Okay, heading 313. Approach mode's armed. And we want to continue down to 2,500. So we flick the collar down to 2.5. What have we got? 17 miles. Plenty. 1,400 foot per minute. Just keep us still below the glide slope nicely. If we could do 1,200 foot per minute, that would just round it off beautifully. 310. And that gives us 30 degrees, just under 30 degrees. Okay. Localizer is on the move, as is the aircraft. Lock 1's active, or lock's active. Engage autopilot 2 as well. Cat 3 dual, but I don't know if this does a Cat 3 dual here. I don't think it has the ability to have to do that, but oh well. Keflavik traffic, Easy 12 Bravo Victor's established 15 miles runway 28 ILS. So we'll maintain 180 knots until 8 DME and 160 till 4. Look at this. Ooh. Wonderful. $2,800, that's looking good. Just sort out our lights. That's all set. Ground spoilers armed, park brakes off.
4905 for mile final, reducing to final approach.
So with this, you end up kind of extending your flaps early because of just the way the aeroplane is set up. Really, it's a longer, lankier plane that flies a little quicker than the A320. $180 knots. We can go flap 3. We'll do that just to help lower the nose prior to getting on that glide slope. RDAL at 1,800, but we'll stay level at 2,500 for now. And missed approach is at 3. $10 miles. We'll go gear down. But all this haze is going to be how the sim is trying to render in the weather at the minute. The volcano is right over there somewhere, where that big cloud is in fact. Could well be the sim trying to render in the cloud for us. The kind of volcanic ash and things. Very hazy, isn't it? Look at this. Very low visibility. Beautiful atmospherics. $160. Full flap. Okay, final approach checks complete. Missed approach is briefed. And we're ready for it. Oh yes, look at that. Not much snow down below. Of course, Iceland was one of the islands or areas in the world update as well, wasn't it? Beautiful bit of work for that. Glide slopes now captured. Down we go. 160 till 4 DME, then we'll go to normal managed speed modes, and then we'll look out for that glide, see what it does with glide slope mini. Ground speed mini. 284 to 17 is the headwind. Over the little bay. Yes, the volcano is literally underneath where that big cloud is there. And Keflavik Easy 12 Bravo Victor's reducing to final approach speed 5 miles runway 28. One in front can depart ahead if you wish.
Okay, Keflavik traffic, speedbird 895, departing runway 28.
He's got 5 miles, as long as he's quick, there won't be any problem. Captain Loki says hello. Be interesting to see at what point this all becomes visible for us.
Keflavik traffic on 495, vacated over 2.
We'll just enjoy a bit of the side view for a little bit. Matthew saying the plane doesn't know what the airport is capable of, only the aircraft itself is capable of Cat 3 dual, so that's what the annunciator messages about. Hoping this other guy reports airborne. Look at that for a view. So good. Many a screenshot from today. Still got no visibility. There's the approach lights. 1.5 miles. We still can't see the threshold. It was 2,000 meters visibility, wasn't it? Autopilot off. And Keflavik Easy 12 Bravo Victor is short final 1 miles. Runway 28.
400.
Wait.
100 above. Minimum.
Chuffing neck. And going around, traffic on the runway. Pretty sure some knobheads just spawned on the runway there. Ice 615. Well, we're in flight sim. I think what we'll do is we will route round towards the volcano. Flaps 1 plus F. Careful of it, traffic easy 12 Bravo Victor's going to vector left 180 to head downwind for a second attempt. No, Dirty 2 indeed. Part of me just thinks when people do that, like, screw it, just land on them, make a point. Bigfoot. Oh, that's 2.8 still in there. That's good. Alrighty. So, let's rerun this. Pop the arrival back in. ILS 28Z. We'll just have it as it is generic on the aircraft for now. So we got about 100 degrees, isn't it? Zero visibility. Technically flying precisely where this volcano is at the moment. Might just put a bit of ice protection on. Oh, look at that. Mikhail, have a good one, matey. Does anyone know if he's airborne yet? Got to try and sort this out.
Traffic on Fahrenheit, inbound Adoba, 5 miles.
I think you guys are all going to slot in ahead. Yes, it was Ice 615, yes. And we get to do a bit of cloud surfing. Apparently right down here somewhere is where that... in fact, that... underneath all of that is where the volcano is, so we've just flown through it. Pretty cool. So what we'll do is we'll give way to MPS, who's just there.
$2,500.
We could get in ahead, but I think we're just too far away for it. So what we'll do is we'll go 100 track. We'll slot in about 3 miles behind him. Matthew says if you want to see if Ground Speed Mini is modelled correctly, you can delete the runway winds and see if the approach speed is higher than 138 when on final approach. Let's see what happens.
Reykjavik traffic, Osprey Fahrenheit, inbound 3 November, Mike, 1 miles at 3,500 feet.
Keflavik traffic, easy 12 Bravo Victor, 3,000 feet. Long downwind, going to slot in behind the Osprey at 8 mile final. Keflavik traffic. Tell you what, how cool does that look? This is where it'd be great if we had a terrain map that actually worked. Which is why I'm also not stepping down to 2,500 yet. These peaks are at 1,280 apparently. So they're not an issue. They look closer than they kind of are. Well, they are quite close in a way actually, to be fair. Oh, lovely Lazarus, good work. MPS, what's your current altitude? Oh, there he is, Chuffy Neck. Wasn't on TCAS anymore, that's why. Keflavik traffic, Osprey 165's turning left base, runway 28.
Reykjavik traffic, Osprey for ILS stabilized on final for runway 28.
Flap 2, let's bleed the speed down to 180 for the turn. Down to 2,500. Cabin check. Now we're actually giving the plane a lot more to deal with now because we have rearm that. We're taking this in tighter. .28, 310 roughly for the intercept.
Reykjavik traffic, Osprey Fahrenheit on final 5 miles to
get down 12 miles
28 for landing.
Let's set 310, 180, 2,500, approach armed. So what we've done is we've vectored ourselves to come in a little earlier, rather than flying the whole approach. And Keflavik traffic, easy 12 Bravo Victor, speed 180, 2,500 feet, established ILS, runway 28, 11 miles, number 2. Flap 3. Yeah, 4,000 is the MSA, but I was trying to sneak in early. That bit there on the charts, as Dirty2 saying. I was trying to get in around here, so come in and then left at 2,500.
Runway 28.
Although I was planning to slot in earlier, I forgot about everyone flying behind. It's always the way. 9 miles. Let's go for attempt number 2 at the approach. Good job we get to see this wonderful lighting. Oops. 160 and full flap. Hatem Killer frame gen mod. I've read about it earlier. Somebody put it on, I think, was it the MSFS Facebook group thing? I'm very dubious about that sort of thing, to be honest, unless I know people with very, very good technical knowledge that can tell me it's 100% legit and safe, then I won't bother. Very low, Dirty2, that's what. A300. What do you mean there, A380? That's the current weather, 290 at 20. A few clouds at 300, as we saw the visibility is really low. It's 2,000 meters visibility. Landing gears down, 3 green. Landing memos, no blue. That's all set, that's good. Park brakes off. Lights and signs. Very nice, Mitchell. So similar breakout. Final approach speeds now. Hold on.
Reykjavik traffic, hospital vacated runway 28.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Jeez. That's not what you want to happen at 3 miles, is it? Yeah, didn't activate approach mode. My mistake. I was too busy thinking about sequencing in and I forgot to click that switch. 1,000 feet, look at that visibility. The sim looks remarkable, doesn't it? Stunning. Same again, when we see the approach lights, we'll hand fly it. Yeah, no ground speed many it seems.
Taxi, Bravo 1, Kilo 3, Charlie 3.
I know, man, terrible, isn't it? That's good enough for me. Hopefully it's good enough for you. My controls. Keflavik, easy 12 Bravo Victor, short final 1 mile, runway 28.
400. 100 above.
Steady, steady.
Minimum.
Continue. Looking ahead.
40, 30, 20, retard. 10, 5.
Oh, it's off centre line landing. Now if I fought that too viciously, it would just cause problems with the touchdown and I'd end up swerving. So being as gentle as I could there with that. Not my most accurate, but hey ho. Let's get rid of reverse thrust. And a high speed exit coming up, there's the green lights. 111 foot per minute. Yeah, slightly to the right of centre line there. We actually looked like we were further right than we were, but that's not too bad there. G-force 1.06, so it's quite smooth. I'll take it. The lighting conditions look insane.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats.
We've got a speed penalty now for whizzing off the runway at 55 knots.
Until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers.
Wicked. We can tidy that up.
Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated.
Oh, it's the braking bug. Couldn't steer, couldn't brake, nothing. And it was stand 7.
Will help you complete your EasyJet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page.
Keflavik traffic easy 12 Bravo Victor's vacated the runway. Taxi to stand 7. Aviate, navigate, communicate, Dirty 2. Is the shadow of an osprey just over there? That's MPS, I think. Off in the distance. Gate 7 safe dock medium. Rightio, so we'll go straight, then left Charlie, and then into the international terminal. APU's available. We've got this rogue ground services truck towards as well, we'll just have to ignore it. It's the weird things the sim does at times. A little bit of brakes to bring the speed down. Smash! Get out of the chuffing way. There's our little glimpse of the airport. We'll get that Toby eye tracker on again. Got to anticipate when that centre line is going to come up on you, because with the tiller you have to kind of, you'll end up oversteering otherwise. We've not been into Keflavik for a long time, and I think actually it's a really nice destination that we've chose today. Pop the engine 2 off, transponder onto standby. Look at us saving the planet one engine at a time. It's going to be great, isn't it, Lazarus? Stand 7's just behind here. There's the ground service equipment. Taxi lights off. That's the stand right there. So it's a bit of a tight turn. We'll keep a bit of the momentum going here. There's the taxi line, and we'll start the turn in now. Hey, look at the see the beacon light reflecting off the surface of the building there. That's pretty cool. Heck yeah, it definitely will, Jan. I've never been able to get mine just right, Big Phil, myself. Following the old arrows here, and it's telling me I'm 2 right, 2 left. There we are, that should be about right. Following the safe dock. Bringing the speed right off here, so we just creep up. And that little arrow is the location of our aeroplane's nose wheel. You've got to try and preempt when that little arrow is going to disappear. The red one. Because it means that you'll end up overcorrecting. Four meters. Just rolling on idle. 2, 1, and that'll be stop. Park brake set. We'll reset the rudder trim. APU's on bleed. Engines off. Praciodi, hello. I've got the RTX 4090, buddy.
The boarding requested.
Okie dokie. That's all done. That's all set. Let's see what signs off. Let's be having ya. In comes the jetty and the ground equipment. Shall we see how we've done on New Sky? For our rating, what we got? Maybe a penalty for something. Off centre line landing, there we go, but a great touchdown. Yeah, I was a little bit off the centre line there. So a slight deduction in score there, but 30,000 US dollars just over for the VA. And it also now means that the Osprey 247 Bravo on our scheduled service is ready for anyone who wants to fly an A321neo back to London Gatwick. So that might be something, if you're looking for a route and you're in our virtual airline, you can fire yourselves into the sim and head to Keflavik. Ah, Shaquille. It's always the way, isn't it, buddy? It happens every now and again. But there we go. Reykjavik currently under the clouds of a huge volcanic eruption. It's interesting to see what the sim does in comparison to it as well, and the conditions that we have to deal with as well. But I hope you guys flying along have all enjoyed it as well. Great to see quite a few of you flying in a variety of aircraft, big and small as well. Big thanks to our Gatwick director for our ATC today, and I think London North as well, wasn't it, I believe. Doc says change to live time. There you go, pitch darkness. I left it a bit out just so we get to their fiery colours. As always, huge thank you to Michael, David, Mikhail for your super chats and your tips earlier on. Really appreciate that. All of our channel members through 2023. I hope you guys, wherever you are in the world, all of you watching, have a fantastic Christmas. And I'll see you the other side after Santa's been for some Inibuild's A300-600 ops and some Monarch Airlines paint, I think. In the meantime, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.